Sanders, you have, here on a petty theft charge, you have $250 bond. I'm going to stay that bond. My note, Ms. Fleming, was to revoke the petty theft charge. I don't know, use ROR on it anyway.
It was filed on the 3rd.
Uh-huh. You know what, I'm not gonna take any action on the other one.
It was a different location.
Huh?
It was a different location, just a few doors down.
Yeah. Sir, your bond stays at $250.
Got it.
And Your Honor, state would ask for a no return to the Speedway.
Oh, and if you do post that bond, you cannot return to the Speedway.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
All right. I'm not gonna be able to make this $250 bond.
Well, I am appointing the public defender. You can certainly talk to your attorney about being released under other terms.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
All right. Mr. Lezama Batista?
Sir.
All right. I am only addressing the failure to appear, right? Okay. And you have a $500 bond on that. I will stay that.
Your Honor, state did convey an offer to him of an adjudication credit time served.
Okay. This is,
Lizama.
well, he's on a failure to appear, right?
Yes, Your Honor. It would be an adjudication to the underlying no valid.
Which is what?
A no valid.
Oh. Sir, the state's making an offer. If you want to resolve it today, plead no contest, waive your right to a hearing, waive your right to be represented by a lawyer. It's adjudication of guilt on the no valid DL. What'd you say? Adjudication, court costs, and what?
Credit time served, Your Honor. That's
And
it.
credit time served.
I don't have a history, do you? Yeah,
I did when I was.
Apparently sitting in on some serious
right, Your Honor, I would just.
stuff, so it's not like he's going anywhere.
No, I would, just ask that you stay the bond.
If he wants to resolve it, he can. He's not getting him out. You saw all that?
Your Honor, I just ask that you stay the bond.
Okay, stay the bond. Good luck to you. Appreciate the offer, Ms. Fleming.
Do what I can.
Oh, I'm sure he did. All right, Mr. Collins. All right, Mr. Collins, you got picked up for failing to appear on a 2018 case, and you have no bonds, 0 bonds. I'm leaving them at 0. You will have to seek release from the judge on that case.
You're bond for your, you issue the bond. It's still there.
Mr. Crawford? All right, Mr. Crawford, you came in with a $5,000 bond on the ag bat count. I will stay that at $5,000. I will grant you a bond of $5,000 on the burglary of a dwelling with assault or battery. If you do post that bond, you're pursuant to the warrant, you're to have no contact with, I assume those are co-defendants? Daniel Millifort or Denisha Addison? Are those,
Miss Addison is the victim, Your
they're
Honor.
victims? Okay. All right, no contact with those 2 people. Must not return to the location of the offense. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. 5,000 on each count would be your bond, all right? Good
Your
luck
Honor,
to you.
just for the record, state would object. Count 2 is a PBL, so state's asking.
Oh, wait, it is?
Bond. Yes, Your Honor.
I looked, I didn't think it was.
It is, Your Honor.
It's the life.
Okay. Well, all right, thank you. So, I'm sorry, sir, you're not entitled to a bond. I did look. I thought it came in as a F2, but,
No, Your Honor.
okay. Count 2 is punishment by life. You're not entitled to a bond. I will not grant you a bond. If you ever get one, you will have no contact with those people. You will not return to that location, and you will not possess any weapons or firearms. All right, good luck to you. You know, I looked up a number of these because I wasn't sure.
I believe there's only 2 today.
Well, like the next one with the vehicular homicide and DO manslaughter, they're
Traffic
bonded
homicide.
at a level of second degree.
Yes. The traffic homicides are, Your Honor.
But we also have like, later on, we haven't, like, aggravated assault with a firearm and all that.
Those are all good. I think the only other,
Those look to me like they get bonds.
yes, they do. The only other one that's a PBL, I believe we have a robbery with a firearm later.
Yes, we do. And
That's the only other
that one I
PBL.
knew. Not like I do IAs a lot, but that one I knew.
I believe that's the only other one.
All right, Mr. Wigton?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'm gonna stay the bonds that you came in with, which was 2,000 on count 3, 1,000 on 4, 2,000 on 5, and 500 on count 6. On counts 1 and 2, I will grant you bonds in the amount of $5,000 on each count. Good luck to you. All right, this is Fortin. Mr. Fortin, all right. Again, I'm asking because I'm not sure, I'm only dealing with the criminal mischief, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, you have a $1,000 bond on that. I will go stay the bond at 1,000. Good luck to you. All right, is this Smith? Are you Smith?
Yes.
Okay, so this is an arraignment. Ms. George, your office has already been appointed. Oh, by the way, am I supposed to be saying the case?
I will waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Am I supposed to be saying the case? Am I supposed to say the case numbers for you? No? Okay. All right.
Oh, okay, the other one. Okay, so I will enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Here is Williams. That's the Saudi Arabian guy.
Mm-hmm, you are. Mm-hmm.
Division 82. It's gonna be, September 28th at 9 o'clock in courtroom 9B.
Okay. Did you get that back?
Donna Vincent Williams, refuse.
Are we waiving?
I will waive, Your Honor. And
Okay, not guilty.
PD, you're appointing the PD?
Oh, yeah, I will appoint the public defender, yes. So 81.
It's gonna be September 23rd at 9 o'clock in courtroom 6B.
Okay. And this is Mr. Wilson. You've already been appointed. What are we doing?
Your Honor,
oh, go ahead.
state did convey an offer to Mr. Wilson of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Family Dollar located at 4511 North Pine Hills Road, and cost of investigation to OPD in the amount of $96.
And he would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest, Your Honor.
Okay. So I got adjudication, credit time served, no return to the Family Dollar at, I wrote down North Pine Hills in Orlando, Florida. I didn't put the number, though. What's the street number?
4511.
511. And, Ms. George, we are doing PD lien or we're not?
We are, Your Honor.
We are, all right. So 323 plus 96, 911, 419. All right, Mr. Wilson, can you raise your right hand and do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, I'm being told by your attorney that you wish to accept the state's offer in this case of an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served. You will pay your court costs, your cost of prosecution, your public defender lien, and $96, cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department, and you may not return to the Family Dollar store at the aforementioned address. Is that what you understood you were agreeing to? You can put your hand down.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Davis, 2 days? Oh, this is arraignment. You don't have these. I'm sorry. How many days in does he have?
Right there, 27.
Oh, sorry. Right here. 27. Okay. Sir, I've been handed a plea form. There's a signature down here in the bottom. Is that yours?
Sir.
Did you read the form?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this form?
No, sir.
Because you read and understood the form, and I know that Ms. George was kind enough to talk to you about this case, you do understand that this is a criminal matter. That means you have every right to go to trial if you choose and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. But because you're going to enter this plea today, case is over today, and we are not having a trial. Therefore, you're giving up the right to a trial by entering this plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You've had an opportunity to speak with Ms. George about this case. Are you satisfied with the counsel that she's given you?
I have just a moment, Your Honor, actually. Your Honor,
It's gonna make.
Are we not pleading today?
no, Your Honor, on his,
Is he VOP?
no, not VOP, we actually have, I guess, comp concerns. We have an evaluation pending.
Okay.
On the, he has another case that he's being held on that occurred prior to this one.
Okay.
That's a no bond status, so I would just wait to resolve that case, Your Honor.
All right.
And enter a plea of not guilty.
All right, enter plea of not guilty. This is Division 62.
That has already been done.
It's gonna be October 31st at 8:30 in courtroom 12C.
No, it's not.
Okay. Sir, stay in touch with your lawyer, please.
I need to finish it.
All right, the clerk is working on getting the Arabic interpreter. This next defendant lives in Saudi Arabia. It says it has an ID hold. Does that mean they won't release him until they can confirm his identity?
I believe they just have to run fingerprints.
He came in with a $2,000 bond. I'm assuming we would consider him a flight risk,
Yes, Your Honor.
and he would have to turn in his oh, he's here. Sir, do you speak English?
No.
Okay. We're getting an interpreter, if you can understand that.
Yes, Your Honor. State was going to ask for the condition of surrendering his passport.
Yeah, so he'd have to surrender. Okay. I don't have any more.
What's that over there?
These are the, oh, there's more here? Sorry. Okay, while we're waiting, we're gonna keep doing arraignments. So this, Conklin says, I guess there was someone's unserved reissued. Does that mean we don't have proof that it was served? Okay. So the next one I have, guys, is Conklin, Charles,
Medical, Your Honor.
oh, are we waiving?
Yes, Your Honor.
But was he served? But he's here. Why? So do I have to give that back to state, even though he's here, but he has not been served in this case?
I saw that it was returned to the state and
It was, and you reissued a summons, but that, we don't have proof that it was served yet.
I'll have him served at the jail, Your Honor.
Okay, so back to state then,
Yes.
for service. All right, so that's Conklin. Okay, it probably should be pronounced Kramer, but it looks like Kramer.
Your Honor.
Women's medical also, Your Honor.
And I will waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
All right, waive, arraignment, not guilty, PTD, or PTC and 50.
September 2nd at 9 o'clock in courtroom 4E.
Okay, Judkins,
Medical also, Your Honor.
waiving,
Yes, I will waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
not guilty, so PTC and 82.
September 28th at 9 o'clock in courtroom 9B.
Postel? Medical?
I will waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Waive, not guilty, 9-2.
Correct, at 9 o'clock in courtroom 4E for Division 50.
Okay, pretrial, and last but not least, Robinson.
Medical also, Your Honor.
I will waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Waive arraignment, not guilty. 9-2 at 9 for PTC in 50. Courtroom 4E. All right. Waiting on interpreter. ACLU filed a suit in Leon County declaring the bail system unconstitutional. I mean, it's happening all over. We're probably going to be going to a non-monetary bail.
My husband is also an attorney. He works at a civil firm. And his partner, his son, is going through law school and is in some other state, I don't recall where, like Rhode Island maybe or something like that. And they do not have a bond system. So he called us and had a conversation with us about our thoughts on the system, the pros, the cons, as compared to their system, which they do like a point system kind of thing. Which I guess is more like the juvenile setup.
Right,
kind of.
right.
Which was very interesting to talk to him because, I mean.
Well, I'm sure all the bonds people watching IAs at the moment would have an opinion.
Most likely.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, it's been how we've done it for so many years. Can we keep going with our, while we're waiting? Okay, let's put Mr. Ibrahim aside so we can keep going on the docket, and Ann will tell us the minute we have a interpreter available. So, yeah, I mean, we're holding everything up, just waiting. All right, we're into the pleables. Do you know how many You expect a plea, Ms. George? Is it gonna be a ton again,
Almost all of them have offers, so,
Yeah.
or what?
almost all of them have offers, so.
Okay, well, let's rock and roll. Is this Mr. Asa Dovega? Asada Dovega? Aceveda Dovega, all right. You there. Okay, this is a pleable, is it pleading?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Uh,
Your Honor, I would ask in this particular case for an ROR. Normally, the state has not been going forward on the possession of drug paraphernalias. I believe the state is only waiting because I guess the test that came back was negative, but they are sending off the substance for further testing to FDLE. But given that all he was arrested on was the drug paraphernalia, he is homeless, he can't afford a monetary bond, I would ask for an ROR.
Yeah, that's fine. State, you want to be heard or not?
The state's only concern is his failures to appear, and he has a recent conviction for also drugs.
Yeah,
We'll leave it within your discretion, Your Honor.
my guess is he has a substance abuse problem. All right, I'll grant him ROR.
Jamal Alexander Bonded, Marward.
All right, Alexander left us. Ashley,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
are we playing or something else?
Yes, Your Honor, state did convey an offer to Mr. Ashley of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return to the Publix at 4606 South Kirkman.
And Mr. Ashley would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Ashley, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. Mr. Ashley, I'm being told that you wish to accept the state's offer, adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and you may not return to the, was it Publix?
Yes, Your Honor.
To the Publix at 4606 South Kirkman Road in Orlando, Florida. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You want to accept that offer?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, I've been handed a plea form. There's a signature on the bottom. Is that yours?
Yes, sir.
Did you read the form?
Yes, sir.
Understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about this form?
No, sir.
All right, because you read and understood the form, and Ms. George has been kind enough to talk to you about the case, you do understand that this is a criminal charge. That means you have every right to go to trial if you choose and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did, but because you're going to enter this plea, the case is over today and we're not having a trial. Therefore, you're giving up the right to a trial by entering this plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. George has been kind enough to speak to you about this case, but you have not officially been appointed an attorney, so you are technically waiving the right to an attorney as well. Do you understand you're waiving that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation for any other case?
No, sir.
Under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No, sir.
You ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you, coerce you, or tell you you had to take this plea?
No, sir.
And finally, sir, whether it applies to you or not, I just need to know that you get the idea that if you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter a plea to a criminal charge, you're subjecting yourself to deportation. Do you understand that concept?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial and waived your right to be represented by a lawyer. I believe Ms. George said you're entering a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept the no contest plea, adjudicate you guilty of trespass. Order to serve, is it 2 days?
2 days.
2 days in the Orange County Jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 days you've already done. He is to be released as to this case. You may not return to the Publix at 4606 South Kirkman Road in Orlando, Florida. And finally, sir, you pay your court cost of prosecution, the amount of $273. If I give you 6 months to pay, is that enough time?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions about the plea you entered?
No, sir.
All right. If you wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. This will resolve the case, sir. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chioka, or Chioka?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
Chioka.
Chioka. All right, Ms. George, what are we doing?
No plea, Your Honor. It's enhanceable.
Okay, so Sir, you came in with a $500 bond on the petty theft. I'm going to stay that. I intended to revoke his release in 2022 CF 7970AO. Ms. George, you want to be heard on that or not?
I would ask that you take no action. He was released ROR. The state did not file an information.
Oh, is that true, State?
Yes, Your Honor, he's arrested 7/9 and released ROR on 8/5.
All right, so I'll take no action on the prior case. I'll stay your bond at $500 on the current charge. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, state would ask for a no return to the Walmart.
Oh, sir,
Yeah.
one more condition. While you're out on release, you cannot return to that Walmart. You can't go back to that store.
Okay, so what's happening today? Am I being released? Okay, okay.
You got a bond, but if you go out, you can't go back to the store. Okay, Mr. Hitchcock? Are you Hitchcock?
Yes.
All right. What are we doing with Mr. Hitchcock?
Your Honor, state did convey an offer to Mr. Hitchcock of an adjudication of guilt, 10 days OCJ with 2 days credit time served and no return to the 2420 East Colonial Drive, which is a Walgreens. And the reason for the additional days is it seems to be an ongoing issue. He was just released 7/15/22, also for a trespass at that Walgreens.
Yeah, I'm noting that he's had over 20 Baker Acts.
Sure.
Ms. George, you feel there's any competency issues?
When I looked, Your Honor, I did not see any. I see the Baker Acts, but I don't see the incompetency to proceed.
Okay, well, one doesn't necessarily mean the other, but. All right, so have you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Hitchcock? Does he want to accept the offer?
Yes. Yeah, that's the offer.
You want to accept the offer and
Yeah.
plea?
Yeah,
I just,
Ms. George, you seem conflicted.
I can hear.
only as to the 10 days, Your Honor.
Well, he apparently has an extensive history. How many days has he got in?
2 years.
2. Your Honor, I believe there's been 4 trespasses at this Walgreens this year so far, and he was released a month ago for a trespass at the same location as well.
If he gets one more, does he get a get out of free jail card or something? Get out of jail free card? Oh, do you have the interpreter? Okay. He's got a $500 bond. I'll stay it.
He,
If he's transient, I'll ROR him.
he's transient, Your Honor, that's the issue. He cannot afford a monetary bond. I want to I would ask for an ROR. I want to get him some services, Your Honor.
All right, and that's understandable, Ms. Fleming. I appreciate the offer. I will release him ROR, appoint the public defender. Sir, you need to get in touch with your lawyer and stay in touch with them while this case is pending, okay?
Your Honor, state would ask for a no return.
No, oh, sir, you cannot go back to that Walgreens.
Yeah.
No Walgreens. All right, we have the Arabic interpreter. Let's get Mr. Ibrahim out here. Oh, Mr. Interpreter,
Yes, sir.
have you been sworn today?
Not today, sir, no.
All right, are you raising your right hand?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm that you will faithfully translate from Arabic to English, English to Arabic to the best of your ability, sir?
I do, sir.
All right, we have one case to address. The defendant is present in the courtroom. His name is Yasser, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but Yasser Salah Ali Ibrahim. His case number is
That's correct, sir.
2022 CF 9546AO. If you could translate the following. Mr. Ibrahim, you
Sure.
are present for a child neglect charge. You have a bond of $2,000.
السيد إبراهيم أنت موجود الآن هنا بسبب إهمال طفل والكفالة هي بمقدار $2000.
I am going to leave your bond at that amount of $2,000. However, if you post that bond, you are not permitted to leave the country, and you must turn in your passport before you will be released.
وأنا مستعد أن أخلي هذا المبلغ $2000 قائم على شرط لو دفعت المبلغ هذا لن يكون بإمكانك مغادرة البلد، وأيضا لازم تعيد جواز السفر.
And you would be required to appear at any court appearances that the judge ordered you to be present for.
وأيضا المطلوب منك أنه تحضر كل جلسات المحاكم التي يقررها الحكام في المستقبل.
I am going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender provisionally to represent you.
أنا راح أطلب من محامي الحكومة مؤقتا أن يمثلك.
Frankly, under the current rule, I can appoint him, but I don't think he qualifies.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you may want to contact a private attorney or stay in touch with your attorney from the Public Defender's Office.
فمن حقك أن تشوف لك محامي على حسابك الخاص أو تستمر بالتعامل مع المحامي المعين من قبل الحكومة.
State, are you asking for any conditions as to the children?
السؤال هو may I answer that, sir?
It is,
Not you.
Your Honor, it is customary for a neglect of the child to do a no contact with the children. I believe one was 5 and one was 17.
9 and 11,
9 and 17. State would also be requesting a no return to the Comfort Inn.
Ms. George, my understanding is they're here as a family, wife, 3 kids, and husband. So to accommodate the state, he would have to get a separate accommodation. Not really opposed to it.
I believe arguably the officer already semi-made some accommodations by also not arresting the wife.
Yeah,
He
I
said he
know.
was going to, given the circumstances. However, given that they were in the country, do not speak English, he already made some concessions, so state believes it is reasonable at this time.
Yes, Your Honor. Is DCF involved?
I doubt it.
Yes, they were notified.
They are?
They're notified. I don't know if they're gonna take a case, but.
All right, sir. To conclude this, I'm leaving your bond at $2,000. I'm appointing an attorney for you. To be released, you have to give up your passport and post that bond.
الخلاصة أنه أنا أثبت هذه الكفالة بمقدار $2000 وأيضا أعين محامي حكومة يدافع عنك على حساب الحكومة وعلى أن تدفع الكفالة أولا وأيضا تلتزم بالأمور اللي قلنا عليها تعيد جواز السفر وما تغادر البلد.
If you do post that bond and are released, you are not to have any contact with the children, meaning you must stay somewhere else.
وإذا أخلينا سبيلك بعد ما تدفع الكفالة هذا يعني أيضا أنه لن يكون هناك أي اتصال بينك بين الأولاد. لازم تكون أنت في مكان منفصل.
Do you understand?
مفهوم؟ May I say something?
You may.
تفضل.
Mr. Interpreter, could you please advise the client, I would recommend he not talk about the facts of the case. If he has a question about one of the conditions that was put into place, then that's okay.
اوكي يا سيدي لا تتكلم حول الموضوع اللي صار حصلت لا تتكلم. لو عندك أي سؤال بالنسبة للكفالة أو الشروط اللي خبرك بها السيد الحاكم اسأل.
لا أنا ما عنديش مشكلة في
الكلام اللي هو بيقوله، بس انا عندي مشكله ان الاولاد بتاعتي انتوا بتتهموني النهارده ان هو اهمال. لو هو اهمال انا جاي سياحه هنا اسبوعين، هتجيبهم معايا ليه من مصر؟ انا كنت سبتهم في مصر وجيت هنا. يعني هو الموضوع برضو في لبس شويه في الموضوع. يعني انا شايف ان انتوا جايين جدا عليا، يعني اطفال احتياجات خاصه، انا كنت ممكن سبتها في مصر.
I say, well, when one has longed all his life to be with his children, and I just find this too harsh to keep away from one's children. It does not make too much sense to me. I'm supposed to be protecting my children to be with them all the time. That's why I came all the way from Egypt to this country.
Well, sir, at this time, I have an obligation with what I know at this point to protect your children from you.
تقول بالوقت الحاضر أنا كل همي إنه أنا أحمي أولادك منك أنت.
And sir, I'm not done. Sir, the conditions under which I release you are subject to change. But to do that, you would have to speak with your lawyer about filing a motion to modify those conditions. But you are free to do that.
الشروط اللي أنا أعطيتها الآن ممكن أن تتغير، لكنه كله لازم بالوقت الحاضر لازم نتكلم بالمحامي وتفهموا حاجات اللي عاوزها، ممكن تتغير الشروط.
Mr. Interpreter, can you not hear him?
I cannot hear him now.
Okay.
At all.
I'm not sure what he said, but okay.
قول كلام بصوت عالي، ما سمعتك.
وليه؟
ما سمعتكش، قلت حاجة؟
لا ما قلتش، بس يعني فاهم، يعني انا شايف الموضوع اصلا يعني انا يعني هم هيتصرفوا ازاي من غيري؟ ما برضك يعني حط نفسك مكاني، هي المدام وطفلين هتصرفوا ازاي من غيري؟ يعني مش جايه. يعني احنا كل الرحله بتاعتنا كانت 3 اسابيع، بقالنا اسبوعين دلوقتي وما اعرفش، وقاعد هنا بقالي يومين وهم اساسا من غير اكل وشرب، ازاي ابعد انا عنهم؟
Well, once again, I find that I'm being victimized here. I mean, I've been here for 2 days. I do not think I deserve all this harsh treatment or conditions.
All right, thank you, sir. I've set the bond conditions and set your bond. You can speak to your lawyer about anything you wish to speak to, anything you need to address after this. Good luck to you.
طيب يا سيدي، اتكلم مع المحامي بتاعك، الأمور ولا قول للمحامي بتاعك كل الأمور اللي قلتها لي.
Thank you, Mr. Interpreter.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for using our services. Have a good day, sir.
All right, Mr. Perry. All right.
You're just gonna announce a no info for Mr. Perry?
On this one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, the state is not filing on your case. You're going to be released, and obviously I won't take any action on the other matter. All right, Mr. Simpson? Has there been an offer to Mr. Simpson?
There has been, Your Honor. However, he does qualify for pretrial release. I would ask for pretrial release, given he has no criminal history.
Fine by me, he qualifies. Sir, I'll release you under pretrial release.
Any conditions, Your Honor?
No return to the
Florida Mall.
Florida Mall, I guess? Don't violate any other crimes, or don't commit any other crimes, maybe? I don't know. I'm kidding, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, were you gonna write that down? Please tell me you were not gonna write that down. Ms. Ward,
Yes.
what are we doing, Ms. Ward?
Your Honor, state did convey an offer to Ms. Ward of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return to the link station at 455 North Garland.
Ward? I don't have it.
At North Garland, what was the street number?
455.
455 Garland Avenue. All right,
Your Honor, can we pass Ms. Ward for a second? I didn't have this one. I don't know
sure.
why. But I just want to make sure.
Ms. Ward,
you
we're
need
going to
the-
recall your case in a minute. Ms. George wants to take a look at
I haven't.
your file before she advises you.
Okay.
So while we're doing that, Mr. Washington.
Yeah.
All right. Assuming this is not pleable, or is it?
No, Your Honor, it's not.
Okay. So, Mr. Washington, you came in with a $500 bond. I am going to stay the bond at 500. You're to have no contact with the victim. Is the victim still at your place?
I have no idea.
Well, you don't, because you've been in here?
No,
Well, she was staying there though, right?
no,
Well, said she was.
she wasn't staying.
Okay, well, here's the deal. So I'm gonna order that you that you have to have separate residences. And last I knew, based on the probable cause affidavit, she said she was staying there for a while after her surgery. Look, you can disagree with me all you want, but that's,
She never did stay.
sir, that's what it says in the affidavit, just so you understand what I'm about to say, and that is that you have to maintain a separate residence, therefore, you may return to the residence with a law enforcement officer with you. If it is determined that the victim does not live there or has vacated the premises, you may remain there. If the victim has not vacated and happens to be there, you must go somewhere else. Do you understand?
I understand.
All right. So, no contact, maintain separate residence, return with law enforcement officer. If in fact the victim has vacated, you may stay. Also, while your case is pending, you are to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs and possess no weapons and no firearms. All right, good luck to you. Is this Mr. House?
Yes.
All right, Mr. House. I believe the only case I'm addressing is the 2020, oh, that's not a case number. 2022 MM 549180. You have a $500 bond. If you do post that bond, sir, you are not to return to 319 East Church Street, or the business premises of St. Regis, if that's a separate place.
Sir, I want to ask you a question. Last week I had a first appearance and I didn't appear. So, I don't know what's going on with,
Are you,
Yeah,
well,
the-
you do have another case listed here, but I'm not addressing it today. The only case I'm addressing is the 2022 MM 549180. I will tell you this, I have appointed the public defender to represent you. If you have questions about any other cases or this case, I would urge you to get in touch with your lawyer.
last week was my first appearance and I didn't make it. So,
Okay, well, you're here today.
can you tell me when my next court date is?
I don't know, call your lawyer. You have the public defender, you have the ability to get a hold of them from the jail. Okay?
Right, if you miss your first appearance, that's pretty important, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not good, but I don't know anything about it. So I need you to contact your lawyer. All right, are we ready to address Ward or not?
We can address her, Your Honor. I will waive the appearance. She's,
Okay, she's got a $500 bond on this one, I'll stay it.
any objection, Your Honor, to an ROR? She wants to fight this issue. I only see one a conviction for a trespass in 2001, but she's on disability. It's just that she's very frustrated with the trespass issue.
Apparently, she
can't-
was
she says she
previously
can't-
trespassed,
And
so she knew she wasn't supposed to be there.
okay, that's fine, Your Honor.
Well, I'm reading, I'm taking your argument into consideration.
The last one I saw was in 2001, was
Well-
her last conviction.
Okay, I'm not talking about her convictions. I'm talking about the officer who responded because the Lynx people called and said they wanted her trespass, and he confirmed that she'd been previously trespassed
Oh, I see,
with an expiration date of September 15th of 2022, and was issued a new trespass with an extended expiration date of August 15th of 2023. So it's not like this is out of the blue. You know what I mean? I mean, if she has no ability to pay, I'm not opposed to an ROR.
When I tried to speak with her, Your Honor, she was very upset, and she says she wants to fight this issue.
Well, she can.
So that's the only,
I'm not opposed to an ROR, but she can't return to the Lynx bus
yes, Your
station
Honor. I understand that.
at 455 North Garland Avenue. All right? So ROR, no return to the Lynx bus.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You want to bring her in here so I can tell her, just so she's not confused?
She's,
All right,
yeah, she was.
you tell her.
Michael Bristol, founded,
Who?
Michael Bristol.
Okay. This one popped up, man. I didn't have, oh, yes, I did. Oh, I did. You said Bretzel.
Bristol, yeah, founded.
There you go. Never mind. I'm wrong. Okay, Mrs. Wada, whoa, thank you.
I'm sorry, I have a very idle last name, I'm sorry.
All right, I was gonna try. All right, what are we doing? If she wants to plead, she can plead, but I was gonna ROR.
ROR, Your Honor, is what I was gonna.
Okay, what was that?
I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. Stay in touch with your lawyer. You now have the public defender representing you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Ms. Moore? Or Mr. Moore, sorry. Mr. Moore, what are we doing? Are these non-pleadable, so
This one,
I can quit asking?
They're city ordinances, Your Honor, so I am authorized to give offers on the city ordinances. For Mr. Moore, I've authorized by the city to offer a withhold credit time served and a no return to the Wawa.
it's a withhold, sorry. Your Honor, I think I put adjudication, it's a withhold.
It is an adjudication?
You said adjudication? Okay.
No, she said withhold. You said adjudication.
Right, this one,
I have it as an adjudication, I'm sorry.
okay.
It is adjudication.
Yes, Your Honor, due to his history. And he's out on bond for a trespass.
Yeah, I saw that. All right, adjudication, credit time served, court costs, and no return to, was it a Wawa?
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the address?
3501 Millennia Boulevard.
All right. Mr. Moore? I am told that if you want to resolve this case today, you can enter a plea, I got to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Okay, put your hand down. Sir, I'm being told that you wish to accept the offer from the city of an adjudication of guilt for the trespass, credit time served, court costs, and no return to the Wawa at 3501 Millennia Boulevard. Is that what you want to do? Sir, I've been handed a plea form. There's a signature on the bottom. Is that yours? Did you read this form?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about the form?
No question.
Sorry?
No question.
All right. Because you read and understood the form, you do realize that this is a criminal matter, Well, it's a municipal ordinance, but they're treated as second-degree misdemeanors. That means you have every right to go to trial if you choose and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. But because you're going to enter a plea today, the case is going to be over today, and we're not having a trial. That means you're giving up the right to a trial by entering this plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you also have a right to be represented by a lawyer. I know that Ms. George has been kind enough to speak to you about this case, but they have not been appointed, I don't think.
No.
And so you are in effect waiving your right to be represented by a lawyer by entering this plea today as well. Do you understand that? Are you currently on probation for any other case?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
Sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness? Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or promise you something to get you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Finally, sir, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you are not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation? Do you understand that concept?
Yes, sir.
I will find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial, waived your right to be represented by a lawyer. I assume you're entering a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'll accept the plea of no contest. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the trespass. 2 days?
Yes.
I'll order you to serve 2 days in Orange County Jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 days you've already done. He's to be released as to this case. Order you to pay the, is it just a statutory fine, the $223, whatever we're calling it?
The court cost, yes.
The court cost of $223. Also, sir, you may not return to the Wawa at 3501 Millennial Boulevard, Orlando, Florida. Sir, if I gave you, let's say, 6 months to pay the $223, is that enough time?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions about the plea you entered?
No, sir.
If you wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. I will take no action on the 2022 CF 7349AO that you're out on. All right, sir, that resolves this case. Good luck to you. Mr. Oliver?
Your Honor, the offer is an adjudication, credit time served.
And Mr. Oliver would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest. Your Honor.
All right, adjudication, credit time served,
Yes.
2 days.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. George, do you have any idea if, as to the status of Mr. Oliver as to being transient or not?
He is, Your Honor.
Okay.
At the end.
All right, Mr. Oliver, I'm being told that you wish to enter a plea to the soliciting without a permit charge and accept the offer from the state of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served for 2 days, and you would have to pay the filing, the filing fee. God, what would they call it? Whatever, it's $223. Sir, is that what you wish to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I have a plea form in my hand. Down here at the bottom, there's a signature. Is that yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read the form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Understand the form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions about this form?
No, Your Honor.
Because you read and understood the form, you do realize that this is a criminal matter. It's treated as a second-degree misdemeanor, and that means you have every right to go to trial if you choose. But because you're going to enter a plea today, the case is over today, and we're not having a trial. Therefore, you're giving up that right by entering this plea. You also have a right to be represented by a lawyer, and although Ms. George has spoken to you about it, you are in effect giving up that right as well by entering this plea. Do you understand you're waiving those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you currently on probation for any other case?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
No, Your Honor.
Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, promise you something to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
And finally, sir, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you are not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial, waived your right to be represented by a lawyer. Assume you're entering a plea of no contest, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea of no contest, adjudicate you guilty of the soliciting charge, order you to serve 2 days in Orange County Jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 days you've already done. Order you to pay the statutory cost of $223. Sir, based on your current status, I will reduce that to a civil judgment. Do you have any questions about the plea you entered today?
No, Your Honor.
If you wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. Sir, this will resolve the case. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Pompey,
Yes, sir.
has there been any sort of agreement on this, or I was intending to ROR 'em?
Yeah, state did convey an offer, Your Honor, of a withhold credit time served.
And Your Honor, Mr. Pompey would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest. However, I would ask that you reduce his fees to a civil judgment. He is transient and has been for a while.
Do you have a plea form? Mr., oh God, did I swear that last guy in?
Pompey?
Pompey,
I believe so. I think.
I'm just on autopilot now. I didn't even know. Mr. Pompey, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, I'm being told that there's been an offer to resolve this case today, and the agreement is a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and you would pay the court costs, although the public defender has asked if I will reduce that to a civil judgment. Is that what you want to do to resolve this case today?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a plea form in my hand with a signature on the bottom. Is that yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read the form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand the form?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about this form?
No, Your Honor.
All right, because you read and understood the form, you do realize that this is a criminal charge. It's treated as a second-degree misdemeanor, and that means you have every right to go to trial and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. You also have a right to be represented by a lawyer, and although Ms. George has taken some time to speak with you today, you are effectively waiving that right as well as your right to a trial by entering this plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you currently on probation for any other case?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No, Your Honor.
Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or promise you something other than what we've discussed to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Finally, sir, whether it applies to you or not, I just need to know if you understand the idea that if you are not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation. Do you understand that concept?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered, that you've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial, waived your right to be represented by a lawyer. I think I was told you were entering a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll accept your plea of no contest, withhold adjudication. Order you to serve as 2 days.
Yes.
2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 2 days you've done. He is to be released as to this case. I will also order that you pay the statutory costs in the amount of $223. I will reduce that to a civil judgment. Sir, do you have any questions about the plea you entered today?
No, Your Honor.
If you wish to appeal that sentence, you must do it in 30 days in writing. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Shelton,
Refuse, Your Honor.
waiving,
No, could we try to reset for tomorrow? There was an offer to resolve, Your Honor.
reset. Mr. Shelton, please. All right, Mr. Swank,
Can we resolve both?
is this Mr. Swank?
You guys filed.
Okay.
It is?
What are we doing? Has he,
The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served. Your Honor, I'm also asking to resolve the out on bond 2022 MO 76480 with an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and a $10 filing fee as it was filed on. The state's just verifying it was filed on, Your Honor. But Mr. Swank would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
so it'd be 223 in the current case and 233 in the prior case, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's an information and then an amended information. 1 second.
Sorry?
An information was filed and then they filed an amended information.
And what was the amendment?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, Your Honor. It looks like it's still disorderly, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. What he was picked up on, was it this one?
And then there's a demand. I just, is it? See, there's no objection to an adjudication on both, Your Honor.
All right, how many days in, I'm assuming this one's 2, what about the prior? Huh?
Days on both.
2 days on both? Okay. All right. Mr. Swank, I'm being told you have 2 cases. One, you're out on pretrial release, or out on bond, actually. And then you have the new case, and the offer to resolve both cases today would be an adjudication of guilt on each one, credit time served of 2 days on each one. And you'd pay your statutory cost of $223 on the new case and $233 on the old case. Is that what, do you want to accept those offers and resolve these cases today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I've been handed a plea form with a signature on the bottom. Is that yours?
Yes.
Did you read this form?
Yes.
Did you understand the form?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about the form?
No, Your Honor.
All right, because you read and understood the form, you do understand that these charges are treated as second-degree misdemeanors, therefore they're criminal, and you have every right to go to trial if you wish, and force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. You also have a right to be represented by a lawyer in these cases, and Ms. George has been kind enough to speak to you about them. But you are sort of de facto waiving your right to an attorney as well, because the case is going to be over today, so there's no trial, and you don't have more time to speak with a lawyer. Do you understand you're waiving those rights by entering this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you currently on probation for any other case?
No.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
Yes.
Is it something that impairs your ability to understand what you're doing today, or are you thinking clearly and you know this is how you want to proceed?
This is how I want to proceed.
All right. I don't know if I asked you, but are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No.
Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or promise you something other than what's been discussed here today to get you to enter these pleas?
No, sir.
And finally, sir, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you are not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation? Do you understand that concept?
Yes.
I will find that you pleas are freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial and waived your right to be represented by a lawyer. I assume you're entering pleas of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll accept your pleas of no contest. In 2022 MM93180, I'll adjudicate you guilty of that charge, sentence you to 2 days in Orange County Jail, give you credit for the 2 days you've already done. In case number 2022 MO76480, I'll accept your plea of no contest, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in Orange County Jail, give you credit for the 2 days you've already done. In the prior case, I ordered you to pay your statutory cost of $223 and the former cost of $233. That makes your total $456. According to his IA sheet, he's been unemployed for years.
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask that you reduce it to a judge.
Sir, I'm going to reduce your court costs to civil judgments. Do you have any questions about the pleas that you entered today?
No, sir.
If you wish to appeal them, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. This will resolve both cases. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Oh. All right, is this Mr. How do you say it?
Blaze.
Blaish. Are you Mr. Blaish?
Excuse me, sir.
Are you Mr. Blaish?
Yes, ma'am, sir.
All right, sir, you are here on 2 cases that you failed to appear.
Yes, sir.
The judge who issued the warrants did give you bonds of $500 on each one if you choose to post those. I'm going to stay them at those amounts.
Your Honor, there was an offer to resolve both cases with an adjudication of guilt, credit time served.
Okay.
And Mr. Bleck would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
And may I say, sir, okay.
You may not have to. All right, so are they both Willis's? What is this?
One is a driving while license suspended, another is an expired driver's license.
You do realize if he could just get a valid license, he might get him dismissed.
Yes, sir. I've got 8 kids. Bills are,
All right,
it's all monetary.
all right. All right, so you want to accept the credit time served adjudication of guilt on both cases, right?
Yes, sir.
How much time has he got in? Does anybody know?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
Mr. Blaish, how much time is
He has 2 days
on each case? All right, Mr. Belash, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And you put your hand down. Pursuant to our conversation, you're going to enter a plea today, correct?
Yes, sir.
I have a plea form in my hand. There's a signature on the bottom. Is that yours?
Yes, sir.
Did you read the form?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand the form?
Absolutely.
Do you have any questions about this form?
No, sir.
Because you read and understood the form, and I'm sure that Ms. George was kind enough to talk to you about this case a little bit, you do understand that these are criminal charges, and that means you have every right to go to trial if you choose. Force the state to prove that you did what they say you did. But because you're going to enter this plea today, the cases are over today. There's not going to be a trial. You also have a right to be represented by a lawyer. And although Ms. George has spoken to you about these cases, you are effectively waiving that right as well by entering this plea. Do you understand you're waiving those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation for any other case?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No, sir.
You ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
No, sir.
Did anybody threaten you, coerce you, or promise you something other than what's been discussed to get you to enter these pleas?
No, sir.
And finally, sir, whether it applies to you or not, do you understand the idea that if you are not a U.S. citizen, entering a plea to a criminal charge would subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
All right, I will find that your pleas are freely and voluntarily entered. You've knowingly and willingly waived your right to have a trial and waived your right to be represented by a lawyer. I believe you're entering pleas of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I will accept those pleas. I will adjudicate you guilty in both cases. Order you to serve 2 days for each case and give you credit for the 2 days you've done in each case. You are to be released as to both cases. Order you to pay your court cost prosecution in the amount of $306 in each case. That's $612. If I give you 6 months to pay, is that enough?
Yes, sir.
6 months to pay. Sir, do you have any questions about the pleas you entered today?
No, sir.
If you wish to appeal that sentence, you have to do it in writing in 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. This will resolve both cases, sir. Good luck to you.
Ramirez Juan, bonded, Your Honor.
All right, Ramirez Juan. Ms. George, what do you want to do with him?
He bonded.
Bonded, Your Honor.
Oh, bonded, sorry.
Bonded.
Okay. Nope, that wasn't Ramirez Juan. Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, that was the next sheet. And I'm still finding my way here.
Oh.
Just have to be patient with me. Is this Alexis?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I'm sorry, sir. I heard you. I'm just looking at, okay. Ag assault with a firearm. This is one of the ones I looked up. I believe he is entitled to a bond. This comes in as a second degree, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it would be $5,000.
Your Honor, Steve would ask for a higher bond due to his extensive criminal history. He has 6 years to appear, one earlier this year.
And he's got 6 failures to appear, one, and, oh, that's what you just said, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm losing it.
Your Honor, a pretty lengthy criminal history, including other violent offenses.
All right, hang on. Ms. George wants to be heard. Ms. George?
Your Honor, I would ask that you stay the $5,000 bond. My client has community ties, but he's currently unemployed, so if you were to increase the bond amount, he's not going to be able to post that bond, Your Honor.
Can I please?
Oh, these are the 2 guys that got in a fight at work.
No, Your Honor. I believe he was in a store and had a disagreement with the clerk and brandished.
Oh, right. No, you're right. That was a different case. A lot of people run around with guns.
I need to talk to them. Your Honor, can I please talk to you, sir?
Your Honor, I recommended he not talk about the facts.
I wouldn't
of the case.
advise it.
But
He
listen,
insists
Your Honor,
on talking.
I'm being accused on charges that I did not commit, officer. I did not
Sir,
commit.
nobody's saying
All
you
I
did.
did was bought some in the store.
Okay.
Then I got.
Sir, this is not the day to try the case. I know you want to.
I didn't do nothing wrong. Your Honor,
I didn't
nothing.
say you did. I said you've been accused of doing something wrong.
Thank you.
That's all we're saying at this point,
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay?
I don't have a job. I was wondering if can the bond be lower, Your Honor, because I don't have no money right now, and I didn't
Well,
do nothing wrong.
here's the problem, Mr. Alexis. You tend not to show up in court a lot.
I do show up, Your Honor.
It says here,
Promise you, sir.
failed to appear 6 times.
Your Honor, I've been in Orlando since 1990.
All right,
1990, Your Honor.
$5,000 bond. If you are released, sir, if you post that bond, you are to possess, sir, if you post that bond, I just want to make sure you know this before you leave. You post that bond, you are to possess no weapons and no firearms.
Never had no firearm. All I had was a
Fantastic,
pocket
then you
knife.
won't have a problem complying with that, right?
No, I don't own a firearm, Your Honor.
Good. Don't get one.
Your Honor, state would also ask for a no return.
Yeah, no return to the
Okay.
store. Think he heard me?
It'll be on his paperwork.
Okay. Hey, I'm awake now. All right, Ms. Birch. Okay, none of these are plea, but I don't have to ask.
No, Your Honor.
All right, fantastic. All right, Ms. Birch, you have a $1,000 bond. I'm gonna leave your bond at $1,000. Birch? Okay, your bond's $1,000. Good luck.
Thank you.
22019064.
What's happening right now?
Got it.
What's going on, Davis?
Nothing.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You didn't bond.
Campos Matienzo, bonded.
All right, are we waiving?
He bonded, Your
Oh,
Honor.
bonded, God, I can't,
You went back to.
wait, you know,
Okay.
Ann had this, said bonded, you idiot. All right, is this cardinally?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Carnley, you have a bond of $2,500. I'm gonna stay it, and I am gonna take no action on your other case because I don't find them sufficiently related. All right, I think, looks like you're gonna tell me Conyers did something.
Kindness medical, Your Honor.
Okay, now are we waiving?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll waive.
All right, waiving, I'm staying his bond at 1,000.
State would just ask for a no contact
Oh, is it a,
with the victim, Your Honor.
okay, no contact with the victim then. Cook.
Yes, sir.
Oh, these are all failures to appear. Oh, no, I'm only dealing with the first two, right?
I believe
No,
it's all
you
three.
don't.
2018,
Your Honor.
All three, Your Honor.
okay, well,
It's just paper clips together.
I only have, oh, I see, okay, it's behind it. Usually they're all. Okay, so here, let's do it this way. Here's the deal. On 2019 CF 3121AO, he has 0 bonds. These are FTAs, right?
Your Honor, I was in the custody of the Department of Corrections when whenever, this
Okay, hang on.
I
Hold
do
the
not
phone.
believe,
All right, here's the deal. He came in with 0 bond on this. I believe it was for failure to appear because 2019 case, I may be wrong, but I'm gonna leave him at 0 bonds. I'm gonna appoint the PD. If you were in custody at the time, get in touch with your lawyer, have him file a motion.
Your
I
Honor,
didn't believe it was a.
it's not a failure to appear, Your
I
Honor.
thought these were new cases that the state filed on.
It came in as a non-arrest, we filed, and then he's just been in capious since.
Okay.
So it is- he is
then he's
entitled to a
entitled to bonds.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, so count 1 is resisting with violence, 2,500 on that. Bat on a Leo, what was that usually, 35?
Yes, Your Honor, but state has no objection to a subsidiary.
All right, 100 then. 2,500 on count 1, 100 on count 2. And and so then let's go to 18 CF 10329. And that, he already has bonds, 1,000, 150, 150. I'll stay those. And I have one more on
Yes, Your Honor.
here.
It's another resisting.
which is the 19 CF 3121, right?
No, Your Honor, you did that one. We have 18,677.
677 AO. All right, 2,500 on count one, 100 on count two on that as well. Okay?
What was the bond, Your Honor?
Huh?
What was the bond amounts on 677?
I don't know.
2,500.
No, it's 2,500 on count one, 100 on count two.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Emore?
Yes, sir.
All
Your Honor,
right,
I'm sorry.
you qualify for pretrial release, ma'am. I'm going to release you on that program. Please, stay in touch, you have to stay in touch with them, follow their rules. I'm also gonna order that she have no alcohol, no illegal drugs while she's released, while their case is pending.
Yes, Your Honor. I would be.
All right, good luck to you.
Francis Fitzpatrick, refusal.
And I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, waiving, he had a $1,000 bond, I will stay that, and I was not going to take any action on the prior cases. Gary, Bridget Gary? You Gary? Yes. All right, Ms. Gary, these are failures to appear.
Yes.
Yes.
And pursuant to the warrants that were signed by the judge, in each case, you have zero bond, and I'm gonna leave the bond at zero. You have to seek release from the judge on that case. Those cases, I should say. Gulick, did I say it right?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Gulick, you have, all right, this is kind of weird, because the IA sheet looks like 3 counts of paraphernalia, but there's only 1 on the sheet. Oh, no, I see, there's the 3. All right, you have a $1,000 bond on the cannabis over 20 grams and 100 on each of the paraphernalia. I will leave the bonds at that amount. Good luck to you. All right, Mr. Jean, or John? Jean, all right. Ag assault with a firearm. I looked this up, folks. This comes in as a second, right? That's what I saw, so I was gonna grant him a $5,000 bond, order that he have no contact whatsoever with the victim, and possess no weapons, no firearms.
Thank you.
John Lindsley, mental health, Your Honor.
And I will waive the appearance.
All right, Lindsay, mental health, waiving. I'm staying all the bonds. I don't know, do I have to announce them all? Oh, including 2022 CF 4348 AO, which is 0. So he came in,
I believe that's the only case he's seen on.
no, I have the,
All three.
I have the affidavits on the other ones too.
Right, no.
Like 22 CF 8698 AO, and that came in with 2,500 on count 1, 1,000 on count 2, 3,500 on count 3, 500 on 4 and 5. And that's pursuant to a warrant. And I also have failure to appear in 22 CF 4348 AO that came in on a warrant at 0. I'm staying. And then we have possession of cocaine, 22 CF 9166 AO came in with $1,000 bond, which I'm staying.
Larry Lucas, medical.
I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, this is failure to appear, he has no bond, I'm leaving it at no bond. Michael, how do you say it? Michael. Okay, Mr. Michael, you're in on a robbery with a firearm that is punishable by life. You're not entitled to a bond, therefore I am not giving you one. You will have to seek release from the judge on that case. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, state we just asked for no contact with the victim at this time.
Oh, well, no, yeah, obviously, if you were to get out, no contact with the victim.
Thank you. Set it up.
All right, Mr. Peters? Okay. Did Peters refuse mental health?
Peters?
Peters?
Peters refused, Your Honor.
And I will waive the appearance.
All right, there's a bond correction form, raising, I think it was raising. Oh, no,
Setting.
it was, came in at 0 and they, oh, no, the warrant came in with a $7,500 bond, so they just corrected that. So I'm gonna leave it, and that's what the bond said, I'm leaving it at 7,500. If he is released, no return to where? This is a firefighter EMT, why would? No return to where? Was he at his house?
1 second, Your Honor.
Oh, he was sleeping.
Central Health Central Hospital,
Oh, I hate those.
no return without a medical emergency.
No, yeah, the warrant said no direct contact with victim and no return to the scene, so I will impose both of those conditions.
St. Louis Mental Health.
Hold on. Absent a medical emergency, correct, Your Honor, in case?
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, Para Lewis was what?
Mental Health.
And I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Okay, he has 5,000 on count 1, 100 count 2. I stay those. I'm not taking any action on 2021 CT 4838AO because I find it's not sufficiently related.
Your Honor, state would ask for no return and
No
no
return.
contact.
No contact, no nothing. Next is Schmidt.
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Schmidt, all right, he didn't come in with bonds, but I was going through the schedule, and as close as I could tell, the appropriate bonds in 22 CF 9534AO. And I don't know if these are in the right order, but count 1 would be 2,500, 1,000 on 2,
1,000 on
500 on 3, 5,000 on 4, 1,000 on 5, and then 100, 100, 100 on 6, 7, and 8.
That'd be about correct, yes, Your Honor.
7 and 3 is 100.
Yeah,
And then 2,500, 1,000, 500, correct, Your Honor?
correct,
And then 5,000 and 1,000.
correct. All right, sir, good luck to you.
Frank is mental health, Your Honor.
I will waive the appearance.
Okay, and the bonds he came in with are 500, 500, and 1,000, I'm staying them. Thomas? Okay, Mr. Thomas came in on a FTA warrant with no bond, I'm leaving it at no bond. Sir, you have to seek release from the judge on your case.
And Peter Tolan responded.
Oh, okay. I heard him say bonded that time. Okay. That's it, right? Are we adjourned?
Yes.
Okay.
Taylor Fleming, on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Letitia George, on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you, Ms. George. All right. We're gonna be what? Oh, Spanish? Oh, okay. Do I use this one or this one? This one? Okay. All right, and so I will make a general announcement. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavits. I did find probable cause, and the only one that I had an issue with or thought might be an issue is the one that Judge Epperson held. So we'll hear from the state when we get to that one. Ms. George, if there's any that you wish to bring to my attention, please do so. I believe we're still under the administrative order, so I will announce that every defendant is being appointed the public defender. Did you guys have a sale on domestic violence battery or something? I mean,
Right.
we got a ton. It looks like we have a number of victims, so if I don't notice somebody coming up on a case, somebody let me know, please. And so, let's do the Spanish.
Good morning, this is Dalia Rivero. Spanish interpreter on the line already sworn in today.
All right. I don't know how many we have. How many cases do we have for? 7. Ugh. 6, okay. All right, Madam Interpreter, we have 6 or so cases. The first case we have, you need the case numbers, I assume, correct?
If you have them, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The most important, the name.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. All right, so the first case we have is Jose Raul Mojica de la Rosa. He does have the headphones on. The case number is 2022 CF 6726AO. Can you let me know when you have contact? Oh, he came back. Why did he not show up previously?
Medical reset, Your Honor.
He can hear the interpreter, Your Honor, even though the interpreter can hardly hear him.
Well, he's in a wheelchair and he's
I see that.
not close to, oh yeah, you can see. Hey, hi. Okay.
Yes, I have a visual. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, sir. You are here on a petty theft arrest. However, you have 2 prior convictions, therefore it's been filed as a felony. You have a $1,500 bond, and I'm going to stay the bond at $1,500. I am, by the way, appointing the public defender to represent you, so you can get in touch with your lawyer if you need to. Sorry? Oh, is there no return?
Your Honor, state would just request a no return.
This is petty theft. It's not battery. Oh, okay, hang on. Oh, okay, so I guess the judge who signed the warrant also indicated that you will have no contact with any victim, co-defendant, or witness, no return to the scene of offense, do not possess any weapons or firearms. Those are additional conditions of your release should you post bail. All right, good luck to you. All right, they are removing the first defendant. The second one is coming out. I will let you know when he has the headphones on.
Thank you.
And this is Augusto Contreras, 2022 CF. He now has the headphones on, 2022 CF 9497AO. I don't see any victims in this case. All right, good morning, sir. You are here on a domestic violence charge. It's a felony because it's alleged there was strangulation. Okay. So, sir, I'm going to grant you a bond of $3,500 on this charge. Conditions include you will have no contact whatsoever with your wife. You must maintain separate residence. You may return one time if you are escorted by law enforcement to retrieve personal belongings. I don't see any kids, any indication of kids, do I? No.
I do believe DCF was contacted though, Your Honor.
He's what?
I do believe DCF was contacted.
Okay, well, I'm looking at the PC affidavit and they didn't mention. Oh, holding their son. Yes, he did. Okay. So, maintain separate residence, no contact, $3,500 bond, may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve personal belongings. And I was going to say you can designate a third party for contact
Your Honor,
regarding child care issues.
Usually you'll just order to comply with DCF if any investigation is in place, because
All right.
they will usually.
I like that. All right, and as far as child care issues, you must comply with any conditions that DCF imposes. So follow their rules. All right, good luck to you.
Una pregunta.
One question.
Yes?
Para ver a mi hijo.
How can I go about seeing my son?
You have to contact the Department of Children and Family Services for that. I'm sure they'll be in touch with you. All right, good luck to you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right, next case is Jose Angel Hernandez Avila, 2022 MM 355 AA. Is that Ms. Davis? Wait, I remembered her name. I'm so good. Ms. Davis, it says he scored, is there any way this defendant can qualify for PTR? Yeah. Okay. All right, that's fine. Sir, I'm going to grant you a $500 bond in this case. You must maintain a separate residence. You have no contact whatsoever with the victim. You may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve personal belongings. I think that's all I needed to do. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Next case is Brander Oroz Miranda, 2022. I'm sorry, 2022 MM 5482AO. Okay, Madam Interpreter, we have a victim in this case. Can you translate
Yes.
over the speaker for us?
Sure, Your Honor. Not a problem.
All right. I'm going to ask, could you please ask the victim to raise her right hand and, I guess, face me to be sworn?
Por favor, levante su mano derecha para que preste juramento. A la víctima se le pide. No usted, señor, la víctima.
Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Jura o afirma que lo que va a decir aquí en el día de hoy va a ser la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down.
Puede bajar su mano.
Can you please state your name for the record?
¿Nos puede decir su nombre para las actas?
Cari Vázquez.
Repita.
Cari Vázquez.
Rani Vázquez.
All right, Ms. Vasquez, how are you related to the defendant?
Señora Vázquez, ¿cuál es su parentesco con el acusado?
Fuimos pareja.
We're a couple.
Okay, and are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with the defendant or that you do not wish to have contact with the defendant?
Usted está aquí para dejarme saber hoy si usted quiere tener contacto y comunicación con el acusado o si usted no quiere tener comunicación y contacto con él.
Nomás quiero, no le quiero poner una orden de alejamiento porque pues por los niños nosotros tenemos, porque solo por los niños tenemos contacto, pero porque pues sé que lo que hizo pues ya no lo va a hacer, entonces nomás quiero que me ayude con lo de los niños, o sea, por los gastos de los niños.
I don't want to get an injunction against him. I just want him to be able to have contact with him because of the children, because of the care for the children that we have. And I want him to help me with the expenses of the children.
Well, his obligation to provide support would not end. And what I had intended to do was to order that he have no contact with you, but that a third party be designated to coordinate the child care with you. But I was not going to allow him to return to the home. So as long as we have someone who can coordinate for things you need to do with the children. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you have to interpret, and I'm going on.
Thank you.
As long as we
La-
have a third party to coordinate, then would you be okay with that? Him not coming home? Let's stop there.
Thank you. Señora, la obligación de manutención de él no termina, aunque él esté fuera del hogar. El juez lo que estaba pensando es ordenarle a él que no puede tener contacto con usted, pero por una tercera persona que puedan hacer arreglos para el cuidado del menor. A él se le va a ordenar que no regrese al hogar, pero con otra tercera persona, alguien en común que puedan hacer arreglos para la cuestión del cuidado de los niños. ¿Usted está de acuerdo con eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a person in mind that can coordinate between the two of you for the child care?
¿Usted tiene a alguien en mente que pueda ayudarle a hacer arreglos en cuanto a los niños para el cuidado?
Pues,
A relative, a family friend?
Ya sea algún pariente, alguna amistad de la familia,
una amistad.
friend of the family.
I'm sorry?
A friend.
A friend, okay. All right, Mr. Oroz Mirianda, hopefully I'm not abusing that name too badly. Sir, I will grant you a $500 bond.
Señor, se le va a dar una fianza de $500.
Oh, my note is that you already live separately, so you are to maintain that, keep separate residences.
Mis datos aquí dicen que ya ustedes viven por separado, así que usted tiene que mantenerse viviendo separado.
You are to have no contact whatsoever with Ms. Vasquez.
Usted no puede tener ningún tipo de comunicación o contacto con la señora Vázquez.
State, do we need the name of the friend for the child care?
Your Honor, I'm not sure. We don't usually do it that way.
Okay. All right, and sir, Ms. Vasquez will designate a third party, a friend of the family to coordinate child care. So you will be permitted to have contact with that person and that person only to coordinate care of your children.
Señor, la señora Vázquez va a designar una tercera parte, una amistad, algún amigo o amiga que va a hacer la coordinación de el cuidado de los niños, el intercambio. Usted no puede comunicarse con ella o tener contacto con ella para nada. Okay, yes.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señora. Buena suerte, señor. Thank you.
All right, the next case is Ms. Emily Virginia Ruiz Rivero. He's getting the headphones on. Case number 2022 MM 5475AO. I don't see any victims. I did not see any indication of children. All right. Ms. Ruiz Rivero, you do qualify for pretrial release. Therefore, you do not have to post a bond. You do have to follow their rules, however. And I'm going to further order that you have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this case. You may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve personal belongings. The affidavit said you have a child. Is that child in common with Josu? That's not his child. Okay. So, you're getting out on PTR, pretrial release, maintain separate residence, no contact. You may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, DCF was also contacted in this one.
Oh, wait a minute, is that Josu? Okay, hang on.
He don't speak English.
I can't hear what she said. No.
It's gonna need over the intercom.
Yeah. So he needs an interpreter as well?
Yes.
Sir, you need the interpreter as well?
Señor, ¿usted también necesita intérprete?
No, solamente necesito a alguien que me traduzca. Lo único.
Okay, esa soy yo. Yes, Your Honor, he does. Interpretation.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand and face me?
Levante su mano derecha, señor, para prestar juramento. La otra.
Do you swear or affirm everything you say today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Jura o afirma que todo lo que va a decir aquí en el día de hoy va a ser la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Lo juro.
I do.
You put your hand down.
Puede bajar su mano.
Can you state your name for the record?
¿Nos puede decir su nombre para las actas?
Josué Dumén.
¿Perdón?
Mi nombre,
Sí,
Josué Dumén.
Josué Dumén.
Correcto.
All right. And how are you related to the defendant, sir?
¿Cuál es su parentesco con la acusada, señor?
¿Perdona?
¿Cuál es su parentesco con la acusada?
O sea, mi relación hacia ella,
Sí,
ella era mi pareja.
my relationship with her, she was my partner.
Is no longer.
Era, ya no son pareja.
Hace un mes no somos pareja.
We haven't been a couple for a month now.
Okay. Well, sir, before you arrived, I had told Ms. Ruiz Rivero that I was going to grant her a $500 bond, but that she's to have no contact with you. She must find somewhere else to live. Or, I'm sorry, PTR. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Madam
Señora,
Interpreter.
antes que usted llegara, yo le había dicho a la señora Ruiz Rivera que a ella se le iba a permitir salir bajo el programa de PTR, no teniendo que pagar la fianza de $500, que se le iba a ordenar a ella no tener contacto o comunicación con usted.
So actually, she would be released on the pretrial release program. She would be ordered to have no contact with you, and she would be permitted to return to the apartment one time with law enforcement escort to retrieve her personal belongings.
A ella se le ha dicho que va a poder salir bajo el programa de PTR, no puede tener ningún contacto o comunicación con usted, no puede regresar al lugar de los hechos y se le permite regresar a la vivienda, al apartamento en una sola ocasión, acompañado de la policía, para retirar sus artículos personales.
Are those conditions acceptable to you?
¿Estas condiciones son aceptables para usted?
Sinceramente no quisiera que ella abandonara la vivienda.
I honestly don't want her to leave the home.
I ordered that she has to.
Yo estoy ordenando que ella se tiene que ir.
Okay?
¿Está bien?
No quiero, pero si hay que hacerlo, pues lo hace.
I don't want that. But if you have to, but I don't want that.
Thought you said you broke up.
Pensé que usted había dicho que se habían dejado.
Sí, vivimos, lo que pasa es que vivimos juntos bajo un contrato y,
Yes.
y
But you want her to live with you, even though you're broken
Um,
up.
we live together under the same contract, pero usted quiere continuar a vivir junto con ella aunque ya no están juntos.
solamente nos quedan 3 meses de contrato.
We just have 3 more months on the contract.
Your Honor, state has no objection to a no hostile.
El fiscal no se opone a que puedan tener contacto, pero que no sea hostil.
All right. All right. Ms. Ruiz Rivero, I will release you on pretrial, under the pretrial release program. I will allow you to have non-hostile contact with the victim.
Señora Rivero, se le va a permitir salir bajo el programa PTR, pero usted no puede tener contacto hostil con el señor
Josué.
Josué. No puede tener contacto hostil con él. ¿Entendido?
That means you can
Yes.
return to the apartment, but you cannot raise your voice, raise your hand, act in any way aggressive, or act out towards him.
Usted puede regresar al apartamento, pero no le puede hablar fuerte, duro, no puede levantarle la mano, no puede actuar en una forma agresiva hacia él.
If you do and he contacts 911, you will be brought back to jail with no questions asked.
Si usted hace eso, él va a comunicarse con el 911 y a usted la van a traer nuevamente a la cárcel. ¿Entendido?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, sir, I'm going to allow her to return to the residence under a no hostile contact order. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
Bien, señora, ella se le va a permitir regresar al hogar, pero con una orden de que no puede tener contacto hostil. Bien, gracias.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much.
All right, the next case is Christian Orlando Melendez Martinez, 21 CF 9473 CO. Okay, he's got co-defendants. There's some other case numbers. Do you need the other ones, or is one good enough?
One is good enough, Your Honor.
All right. All right, sir. You are here for, amongst other things, a violation of probation in a felony case. You currently have no bond on that, and I'm going to leave that at 0 bond. You will have to seek release from the judge on that case. You also have a misdemeanor operating a vehicle, an unregistered vehicle. That's a $500 bond. I will leave that. And I think that's okay, so just the 2. Okay, so no bond on the violation probation, $500 bond on the expired tag. Good luck to you. Is that the end of the Spanish? Yeah. Okay, Madam Interpreter, I believe that was the last Spanish-speaking defendant we had.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so, all right, these are the callbacks?
Yes.
Yes, no?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
How, this is Alvarez. Jonathan Alvarez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so, all right, you, in 22 CF 947680, you have a $1,000 bond and a $150 bond. I will leave those. Oh, and then you have, in 9476. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, all right, leaving that, and then you also have, no, you don't also have, you have a trespassing in 2022 am I addressing that one too, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
All right, that's a $500 bond, I'll stay that. And then, wasn't he out on release? No.
Your Honor, I do believe he was out on bond and that was already revoked and set at none.
Okay, but I don't have that today, so apparently Epperson addressed that?
Yeah, right here.
Well, I see that, but I'm not going to change it, I mean.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, it happened yesterday.
Oh, okay. All right, basically, sir, I'm staying your bonds, okay? And the judge previously revoked your bond on the, whatever that case number was, 22 MM5067AO.
So I'd have to bond out again for that one and these.
You have to, well, by the way, you're appointed the public defender. If you hadn't been previously, you are now, so you need to reach out to your lawyer, file a bond motion in the prior case where your release was revoked.
So I can't just pay that bond again?
No, sir.
Oh. So yesterday, I guess the judge revoked the criminal mischief, is that the?
Yes.
Okay, that's what, so. You still have to.
All right. Okay, this is Mr. Powell.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, this was.
Was this a PC?
Yes, Your Honor, and state did obtain a new affidavit. State has provided one to defense. May I approach?
Okay. Ms. George, have you seen the supplemental?
I'm reading it right now, Your
Oh, all right.
I believe the main issue identified by Judge Epperson was ID.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see.
All right.
No objection from defense, Your Honor.
Says he ID'd them because he knew who they were. All right, so I do find probable cause based on the supplemental report provided by the State Attorney's Office. I will stay the bonds. You have 2,500 on count 2, 150 on count 1. I'll leave those bonds. I will not revoke his bond on 2021 CF 128666AO because I find it's not sufficiently related to the new charge.
You can bond.
Staying your bond, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, Joel Aim,
Yeah.
mental health.
And
Okay, are you waiving, Ms. George?
yes, Your Honor. As far as his out on bond, he has competency issues. So
Yeah, I thought maybe.
yes,
This is was his mom?
yes, Your Honor.
And they're living in the car?
She also stated he has mental issues. So I just ask that you not revoke the out on bonds.
Has he been adjudicated in those?
On some, I'm not sure.
No, he's ROR on the first two, and he's out on bond on burglary of an occupied dwelling.
Yes, Your Honor, I meant adjudicated incompetent.
Sorry?
I meant adjudicated or competent in the out on bond.
Oh. Yes, that makes more sense, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, this guy.
He has incompetency in 2021 CF 4690 AO.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty obvious from reading the thing, and I know his mother. I don't suppose Ms. Davis, is there any mental health screening or anything we can?
No, his charges wouldn't qualify you.
Oh, yeah.
Not at all.
Well, I think, he's entitled to a bond.
Yes, Your Honor. State's only.
Bond schedule for count 3 is 20,000. I doubt he has any ability. I think he said they're both homeless,
Yes, Your
or
Honor.
his mother said they were homeless.
State's concern is his failure to appear history and that resisting without the 22 MM 5411 he picked up on the 11th, so approximately 3 days before this charge. So state's just concerned for the safety of the community and his mother.
So, is the state arguing he's not entitled to any bond based on
No, Your Honor.
threat to the community, or?
No, Your Honor, he is entitled to a bond. I was just bringing to your attention my concerns regarding
Okay.
his criminal history and his failure to appear history and the allegations within this affidavit.
Does the state have a opinion as to the amount?
Your Honor, state would just leave that within your discretion. I believe the bond schedule is reasonable in his case, given his criminal history is long, and has several violent offenses. And what he is charged with is also a violent offense and a first-degree felony, so state would just ask that.
I don't disagree.
Bonds.
Clearly, I think his offenses are symptoms of the underlying issue, mental health. He's homeless. So I think any bond would be essentially no bond. But, Ms. George, you want to be heard? As I said, the bond schedule on count 3 is 20,000.
Your Honor, given the fact that his mother stated in the arrest affidavit also pointed to his mental health issues, we do have multiple cases where he has been deemed incompetent, both in juvie and adult. So I just ask that you consider that, even if we reduce the carjacking to 10,000, as Your Honor stated, I'm not sure he's gonna be able to post. We're gonna have to do the motion, anyway, Your Honor.
And I have a bit of a concern for the mother's safety. She seems to be the object of a lot of this aggression.
I mean, the no contact order, I'm not sure if it would help do the
I don't know where he
incompetency,
would go.
but that's the only.
All right. I'll give him a bond of 10,000 on count 3, 500 on 2. I was gonna do 50, and 500 on count 1. If he does post bond, no contact with his mother, maintain separate residence.
Your Honor, state would also request a no weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
We have weapons charges, I mean, we have resisting without, failure to obey, burglary of an occupied dwelling, criminal mischief. Has there been any any allegation that he's been in possession of weapons?
I believe prior arrest, Your Honor. However, just given the violent nature of this offense and his violent history.
All right,
and he's a
that's
convicted
fine, I'm
felon.
not opposed to that. So no weapons, no firearms. All right. And I'll take no action on the other cases. What would be better is if we could get the guy some help. But we can't really do that. All right, is this Childs?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Childs, you are here on an ag bat, domestic violence. I don't, do Do you and the alleged victim reside together?
No, sir, that's what I read in the report. That's not true. We don't stay together.
Okay. So I'll grant you a $3,500 bond. You're to have no contact with the alleged victim, maintain separate residence, and you're to possess no weapons or firearms if you do post that bond.
So, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So the case is over.
So it's gonna stay in possession?
Until this case is resolved. Okay. Thank you. She's just asking about the weapon. I told her she could, until this case is resolved, she cannot get the weapon back, Your Honor.
Correct. Oh, it's a tire iron, dude. I don't know if you
Her
need that.
firearm, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. All right, Mr. Dormeville?
Yes, sir.
Did I say it right? All right. All right, sir, I did find probable cause. I'm going to grant you bonds on count 1 of 1,000, count 2 of 1,500, count 3 of 500. You're to have no contact with the alleged victim. This is battery dating violence on count 3. So no contact, maintain separate residence. I forget, was there any weapon allegation in this?
Not that I saw.
No, yeah, I didn't. Okay, so I'll grant you those bonds. If you do post them, you're to have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim, maintain separate residence. Good luck to you. All right. I was a little surprised at the bond schedule. The bond schedule I looked at state was 1,500 on child abuse, and of course 500 on DV. So looks like he's entitled to those bonds.
And Your Honor, if I may, as to his out on bond, I believe he has regional conflict counsel, but from my reading, he was arrested June 1st, and to date, no information has been filed.
Really? On the kidnapping with the
Yes,
firearm?
I just want to make sure that I read it correctly. The state's double checking, Your Honor.
Because obviously I intended to revoke.
Yes, Your Honor, that's,
Although state, if they haven't filed on it, then I can still revoke, but I'm a little less inclined to.
As of right now, Your Honor, it is not filed on.
What was the date of arrest was May 31st.
Yes, Your Honor. It does appear that.
What is your office waiting for?
It appears that the ASA and the defense attorney have been going back and forth. I'm assuming.
Well, it was the same parties, I assume, right? Or was it?
The intended victim in this case was Mr. Owens. And
Were these separate parties?
sorry?
the victim, I believe, is different in the out on bond case, correct?
Yeah.
It's Mr. Owens, you stated?
Mr. Owens on the honor bond.
All right.
Your Honor, state would request that you revoke, giving that it is in violent offense. Kidnapping with a firearm is a punishable by life, capital offense. Count 2 is an armed burglary of a dwelling with a firearm, which is an F1, which is a PBL. And count 3 is resisting without, first degree misdemeanor.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
is-
I'm assuming he wasn't granted a bond at IA and his attorney filed a motion for bond. That's how he got it. Am I correct, Ms. George? Because he wouldn't have been entitled to a bond on the kidnapping.
I saw bond filed. Actually saw bond filed, didn't you?
There was a motion to reduce modifier set approximately 7 days after
Yeah,
IA.
that makes sense.
And that's when one was, it was 10,000 on count 1, 150 on 2, and 100 on 3. So if your honor is not inclined to
I
revoke.
gotta
the
be
offense
honest
for a
with you,
double-
Ms. George, I have a public safety concern.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I'll grant you that they haven't filed on it yet. I don't know anything about that, don't have any background on that, why it hasn't been. But,
I would just argue, Your Honor, that it hasn't just been 30 days. It was back May 31st to date. We're in August. No information has been filed. If you are inclined to revoke, I just ask that you revoke in double as opposed to holding him in no bond, given that there has not been an information filed.
all right, well, first things first. In 22 CF 9506AO, a grant of bond of $1,500 on count 1, 500 on count 2. No contact with any victim. Maintain separate residence. Possess no weapons, no firearms. I don't believe, you don't live there, do you?
No, sir.
Yeah, okay, so maintain separate residence, which should be easy since you don't, you already don't live there. State any other further conditions on those bonds? Oh, and also, wait a minute, then we have 2022 MM 4988AO, another domestic violence battery.
Oh, the separate.
Oh, is this the warrant one? This is the warrant.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so that came in with the warrant with no bond, so I'll grant him and that's, yeah, misdemeanor, so I'll grant him $500 bond on that, same conditions, no contact with any, oh, wait, no, it's an MM. Yeah, it's an MM, okay. No contact with any victims, maintain separate residence, no weapons, no firearms. Revoke or double, revoke or double. Ms. George, I appreciate your position. I do. I just have a concern.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, we've got 2 new violent offenses. And although I will admit to you, I don't know the specific facts of 2022 CF, what is that, 6214AO, certainly the charges are extremely serious.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand. I actually thought the second battery came in the last case, but I just noticed it was a warrant.
So I have a concern for, I am going to revoke.
Yes, Your Honor.
Obviously, sir, your attorney is free to seek release from the judge on that case.
I just did.
All right, Mr. Hicks.
Good morning, Your Honor.
We got all these people out here, but these are not. All right. Mr. Hicks, you are, although it says aggravated battery, I believe after reading the PC affidavit, it's domestic violence.
I believe it was the strangulation, Your Honor, it's the aggravating factor.
I think it should be battery by strangulation as opposed to.
Well, yeah, but it was domestic in nature,
Mhm.
whether it was strangulation or otherwise, right?
Yes, Your Honor, correct.
So the reason I'm mentioning is that because I'm going to grant them a bond of $3,500. I'm going to order they have no contact with the victim, maintain separate residence. Did you live there?
I live there. She moved out.
She moved out?
Yes. She took.
Well, I know it did say something about she wanted to take her kids and go back to New Jersey or something.
Yes, I believe she's up there.
Well,
I would just ask for,
how do we verify that before I say he can go back? I guess I'll do it this way. You're free to go back to the residence as long as the victim is not living there. If they are, you may not return. You have to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. Ms. George, I don't know how we just trusted the honor system?
No, she left.
okay. Usually what we do is have them go with law enforcement. If she's not there and her things are gone, then he can stay.
Okay, then do that. How do we write that?
It's usually just a separate residence, one-time return. So when he does that one-time return, he's allowed to stay if.
Okay. Maintain separate residence. You may return one time with law enforcement. If the victim has vacated the premises, then you would be permitted to stay. All right? But the no contact would remain. $3,500 bond. I don't think any other conditions. All right? Good luck to you.
I do believe DCF was contacted, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. So is it his kid?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your kid? All right. Well, then, whatever DCF,
You have to comply.
any rules that they impose, you have to follow them and work through them for coordinating childcare.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Wallace? All right, Mr. Wallace. You have 4 counts. First 2 are felonies, ag bat on a pregnant person, and strangulation, and misdemeanor, domestic violence, and criminal mischief. Sir, I'm going to grant you bonds of $3,500 on count 1, $3,500 on count 2, $100 on 3, $100 on 4. No contact with the victim whatsoever. Maintain separate residence. You may return one time to retrieve personal belongings if you need to, as long as you are escorted by law enforcement. And I guess did you see anything about existing children or
Mayor, I believe
just the one on the way? Okay. All right, then we don't have to address that at this moment. All right, 35, 35, 100, 100, no contact, separate residence. Good luck to you. Wait, is this all the same guy? Oh, I see. Okay. All right. I got it now. I think. You don't need, oh, you do need those. All right. All right, Mr. Dozier?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Dozier. You're here on a stalking charge. You came in with a $1,000 bond. I will stay that, your bond at $1,000. You are to have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. Well, right, yeah, I'm sorry. So came in with 1,000, but then they corrected it to 0. So technically, I'm reinstating the 1,000 with the condition that you have no contact whatsoever. That means no phone calls, no texting, no nothing. If you do any of that, you're coming back to jail, just so we're clear. Maintain separate residence. That shouldn't be hard. You don't live together anyway. Okay? So, I'll grant him a $1,000 bond, no contact, maintain separate residence.
Your Honor, state would ask for a no return to the victim's address instead of a separate residences.
Okay, no return. Can't go near the victim's home. All right, good luck to you. Mr. Gears? All right, we do have victim. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand and face me? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And put your hand down. Can you please state your name for the record?
It's Henrietta Garris.
Heather who?
Henrietta.
Oh, Henrietta.
Yes, Garris.
Harris, okay, well, that's easy. All right, Ms. Harris, how are you related to Mr. Gears?
Been my husband for 24 years.
All right, and are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with Mr. Gears, or that you do not wish to have contact with Mr.?
I wish to have contact with him.
You're not afraid of him?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Well, apparently he was not very nice to you on this day.
Your Honor, it was just a bad morning.
Well, careful. I don't want to say anything. Well, if I were to allow him to return to your home, it would be under a non-hostile contact, and that means he can't raise his voice to you, raise his hand to you, act aggressive to you in any way whatsoever. And because he's under the jurisdiction of the court, if you were to call 911, law enforcement would respond and remove him, take him to jail. With no questions, nobody's going to ask his side of the story this time because he's under the jurisdiction of the court while his case is pending. Are you willing to tell me that should he act in any way whatsoever, which is unacceptable, that you're willing to call 911 with the understanding that he will be brought back to jail, no questions asked?
Yes. I understand.
All right. Well, he's entitled to a bond, sir. You're entitled to a bond. So I'll grant you a $500 bond. Because Ms. Harris testified that she wishes to have contact with you, I'm going to order that you have non-hostile contact. That means you may return to the residence. But it also means if, for whatever reason, your wife picks up the phone, calls 911, nobody's going to ask your side of the story. They're just going to show up and take you away. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. I didn't see any indication of weapons or anything, so no further conditions. $500 bond, no non-hostile contact. Therefore, you may return to the residence. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jean?
Sir.
All right. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. You might have to get a little closer to the microphone. Ma'am, can you state your name for the record?
Giselle Pierre Jean Philip.
I did not hear that.
Giselle Pierre Jean Philip.
Giselle Pierre. All right. Well, ma'am, how are you related to the defendant?
He's my husband for 17 years. We have 3 kids together, and we've been together for 21 years.
Can you get closer to the mic? I apologize, but I'm really having a hard time understanding you.
We've been married for 17 years. We have 3 kids, and we've been together for 21 years.
Okay. Are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with Mr. Jean, or that you do not wish to have contact with him?
I do not wish to have contact with him.
Okay. So I'm going to order that he maintain a separate residence. Do you need to have a third party to contact to coordinate childcare at all? In other words, somebody else, a family member, a family friend, who can coordinate between the two of you to do childcare?
That would be okay, but my kids are 16, 15, and 12. And,
Okay. So you don't need that?
I don't think I do, but I also want the court to have him do something about his drinking, so we can...
Do something about what?
Drinking.
Oh, well, that's a much more complicated issue. I can put a condition on that he consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. He does qualify for PTR, Ms. Davis. So do you test for those?
If you order it.
Okay. All right. All right. Anything else that you want to tell me?
Yes, where we live is on his name. He never put my name or the kids in it.
It doesn't matter who owns the property. He's not going to be permitted to return. That has nothing to do with ownership. It just has to do with the pretrial release conditions that I will impose.
Okay.
Okay?
He's still paying for it and I take care of the rest of the bill?
Yeah, it's his house. He has to keep paying for it. He's just not going to be able to return there,
Okay,
at least temporarily.
okay.
All right? Okay. All right, Mr. Jean?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I will grant you a $500 bond. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You qualify for pretrial release, so I'm going to release you on that program. That means you do not have to post a bond, but you have to follow their rules.
Yes.
You have to stay in contact with them as they require.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm also going to order that you have no alcohol or illegal drugs while you're on pretrial release. They will be testing you, I don't know, do you do it randomly or? However they do it, you do what they say, okay?
Your Honor.
You also are to have no contact whatsoever with your wife while your case is pending. You must maintain a separate residence.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may return one time with law enforcement escort to retrieve personal belongings that you may need.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you are to maintain a separate residence.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right?
Your Honor, this is another one where DCF was called, so state would request.
Okay, so since DCF has been contacted, sir, they're going to have their own rules that you must abide by. So whatever they tell you need to do as far as your children,
Yes, Your Honor.
you comply with their rules, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. Oh, well, she's gone. Okay. Oh, this is Jean? All right, Mr. Khan? Are you Mr. Khan? Yes, sir. All right, I don't see any victims present. Sir, you do qualify for pretrial release, so I'm going to release you on that program. You do not have to post a bond, but you have to follow their rules. You're to have no contact with the victims. You must maintain a separate residence.
Yes, sir.
You gotta go somewhere else to live. You may return one time with law enforcement escort to retrieve personal belongings if you need to, but you must live somewhere else. All right, all right. Good luck to you. Mr. Laster, how do you say it? Laster, all right, and we have a witness. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Could you state your name for the record, please?
Kiana Reynolds?
Reynolds?
Yes.
All right, and Ms. Reynolds, this came in on a warrant for dating violence. So can you tell me what your connection is to the defendant?
We're a couple.
Okay, and are you here today to say that you wish to have contact?
Yes, I wish to have contact.
Okay, you're not in fear of this person?
Like, I was like intoxicated at the moment.
Well,
So it was just like, it was me. And so like, I was like being over dramatic. So it really wasn't anything that like caused a scene or had me afraid of him.
all right. It sounds a little bit like you're blaming yourself for what happened, and that concerns me.
No, I was drunk. Like, it wasn't nothing. He just tried to get a bag.
So that gives him, because you were intoxicated, that somehow gives him the right to.
No, he didn't do
strike you?
nothing to me.
All right. So do you live together?
Yes,
So you want him to come home?
yes.
Mhm. State, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Laster? Does he have two VOPs or one?
Which one?
I only see one, Your Honor.
Well, I've got paperwork. Maybe, is it a duplicate? You have two cases you're on V?
I had, when I was in booking, they gave me two of the same paperwork, like a duplicate paper. I asked them about it, they just said it was a duplicate. It says the same case number on it, I think, the 780.
Agency case number. Hang on, let me look. 2830. Oh yeah, 280-364. Yeah, all right. All right, appears to be a duplicate. So, here's the deal. On the 2022 MM 54890, I'll grant you a $500 bond. Based on the testimony of Ms. Reynolds, I will impose the condition that you have non-hostile contact with Ms. Reynolds, which means you may return to the residence. However, while your case is pending, you are not to raise your voice, raise your hand, or act in any way aggressively towards her whatsoever. If she picks up the phone and calls 911, you, just so you understand, you'll be brought back to jail, and nobody's going to stop and ask you your side of it because you're under the jurisdiction of the court while this case is pending. Do you understand? All right. Now, on the case that you're on probation for out of Seminole County, I believe, you don't have a bond on that. You're not entitled to a bond on that, so I'm going to leave that at no bond. You will have to seek release on that case from the judge on the case.
So I'll have to go to Seminole County.
No, you have to contact your lawyer. I'm assuming you have an attorney on that case?
I have a public defender.
Okay, well, get in touch with them. Yeah, and you also have a PD on this case too, by the way, because everybody's being appointed today. So talk to your lawyer about getting in touch with your Seminole County lawyer about, seeking a bond or some sort of release on the VOP.
Okay, so, but would that ultimately get me transported, or would I be able to?
That's, I don't know.
Like, if I was to post his bond, like, if he get his bond posted,
I wouldn't post this bond right now because he's not going to be released until he gets,
but even if he does get it posted, can he get, like, transported to Seminole County faster?
all I can tell you is that the best thing to do is to have him talk to his attorney. Your attorney his attorney may or may not speak with you. If he gives them permission to, they may.
Okay.
But,
So if, I just wanted to know if
yeah,
I
he's going to have to seek release from the Seminole County case from the judge in Seminole County.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, they have to.
All right. Good luck to you. Thank you. All right. Mr. Mahoney?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Mahoney, you are here because the allegation is you violated a domestic injunction. And even though the judge who signed the warrant indicated that the initial appearance judge may grant you a bond, I'm not going to. You're going to have to seek release from the judge on this case. I am not going to revoke your release on 2022 CF 4693 AO because I don't find that they're sufficiently related. But because the allegation is that you knowingly violated a domestic injunction, my concern is for the safety of the victim, so you're going to have to go talk to your attorney's going to have to talk to the judge on that case. Okay?
Your Honor, I believe he's entitled to a bond. Am I mistaken on this?
On a violation of domestic injunction?
My understanding, Your Honor, is he can have a bond if, however, you can also set it at no bond if this court finds no reasonable conditions to ensure the victim's safety.
Now, I don't know that I know enough about the case to really make that call, do I? I can read the affidavit. Let's see what the affidavit says. He has an active injunction against him. Oh, yeah. Oh, I did read this. She's been calling her saying she better watch out, telling her she better let him see the kids.
Yes, Your Honor, and there's a 22 CF 246 ag stalking after injunction, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 violations. That was no pros. That was from March of this year. He has a 2021 non-arrest violation of injunction. That one was also closed.
Same victim?
2021 non-arrest violation of injunction, 2 counts.
All right, so, Ms. George, I appreciate I will find that, because he seems to be violating these injunctions with impunity, that I can't determine any condition of release that would provide safety for the alleged victim. It's the same victim, and I stopped Ms. Fleming before she got to the end of her list, and I think she was already at like 4 different cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
So he doesn't seem to give 2 cents about any injunction.
Yes, Your Honor.
Or is
It was
it-
just my
is it
understanding
two
that
hoots?
if it's not a crime punishable by life in prison, that
I don't think you're wrong.
they're entitled to a bond.
They are, unless there is good cause not to grant one. And one of the things is the safety of the public, or in this case, the alleged victim in this case, in this particular instance. And I don't know if Ms. Fleming would have had more violations to keep reporting to me, but I felt good enough at 4 or 5.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's good cause not to grant him a bond in this one. He's free to seek it from the judge on the case.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm simply punting. Good luck to you. Counsel, what case are you here on?
I'm here on Mr. Alanis, Your Honor. He's set for the afternoon.
You gotta call the attorney.
Okay. Can I get through these?
Yeah.
No, well, all right. Ms. Mitz? All right, sir, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. You state your name for the record, please.
Christopher Campbell.
Well, I'm sorry, what was the last name?
Christopher Campbell.
Campbell, okay. All right, Mr. Campbell, what's your relation to Ms. Mitz?
Couple, significant other.
All right. Do you live together?
No.
Okay. And are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with Ms. Mitz, or you do not?
Yes, we can have contact.
Okay, and you're not in fear of this person?
No.
All right. If I do allow her to have contact with you, it would be non-hostile contact, meaning if she were to act aggressive to you in any way whatsoever, and you called 911, she would be brought back to jail with no questions asked. Are you willing to tell me that you will call law enforcement if need be?
Honestly, I'm just here to drop the charges, but I don't think we'll have
Well,
to go through that no more.
Today isn't the day to drop them, but today is the day to decide what conditions she'll be under if I release her. Okay?
Right. We won't be having any contact, but we're fine to have contact.
Well, if you don't need contact, I can also release her under a no contact order.
I just want her released, honestly, just to get her out.
Do you have any feelings, Ms. Mitz, on whether I release you with a no contact order or non-hostile contact order? State? Neither person seems to care if they have contact. I'm sort of inclined to do non-hostile, just.
Your Honor, it doesn't appear she has any other prior DV history. So state will leave it within your discretion and the victim's testimony.
All right. Well, based on the testimony of Mr. Campbell, I'll grant you a bond of $500. I will order that if you do post that bond, you're under a non-hostile contact order which means you can have contact, but if you are in any way aggressive towards him and law enforcement gets involved, you are the one that's gonna get brought back to jail and nobody's gonna ask any questions of you, okay? All right, and, did you live together or no?
No, sir.
Okay, so you don't need to return anything, so
He has-
non-hostile contact,
She has to just pick up her vehicle.
well, that's, she can have contact. It's okay, if, you can have contact, so you can go get the car, it's fine. $500 bond, non-hostile contact, good luck to you, thank you. Mr. Pierre? All right, we have a witness. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Can you please state your name for the record?
Tanisha Williams.
All right, Ms. Williams, what's your relation to the defendant?
He's my daughter's father.
Okay. How old's your daughter?
7.
7, all right. So are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with Mr. Pierre, or that you do not want to have contact?
No contact.
No contact?
No contact.
All right, fair enough. And I don't remember, Rena, you don't live together right now?
No.
Okay, all right. So maintaining separate residence is not a problem?
No, it's not.
All right. All right, Mr. Pierre, I am going to grant you a bond of $500 in this case. If you post that bond, you'll be under a no-contact order, meaning you can have no contact with Ms. Williams, meaning you can't call her, you can't text her, you can't have somebody else contact her. I'm going to assume you need somebody to coordinate childcare.
No, I just prefer him not to be around at all.
Well, Ms. George, how do we handle that? I mean, there's a minor child, he's the father. I understand Ms. Williams saying, well, I don't want to have contact, but I think was DCF contacted?
No.
Not that I noticed, Your Honor.
DCF wasn't contacted. Your Honor, the only alleged victim was the mom. So, Your Honor, I would just ask that you just do the no contact only for the mother.
Well, that's fine, but I was gonna suggest a third party to coordinate childcare activities, but Ms. Williams has indicated she doesn't want him to have any contact with the child, but I'm not sure
I don't want any contact.
that I can do that.
This isn't the first time we got into it, and for my daughter to be like in the vicinity, it's not safe for her either.
Your Honor,
I just prefer no contact at all.
I understand, but he, as the father, there's legal rights that he has that I don't believe.
I believe it's outside of the jurisdiction of this court at this time, as the child was not a witness or a victim.
Yeah,
So if she does not want him to have contact with the child, I believe it would have to be a family law court or an injunction.
yeah, that's a different,
I don't believe this court has jurisdiction to make any rulings in regards to the child if she was not a victim or witness.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, if he doesn't call, nobody else calls anyway, so.
Yes.
And
well, I would,
highly regret he'll call or have anybody else to call. I don't know.
if he needed to get in contact with you in any way regarding the child, is there a third party, a family
No, I
member,
don't
or
have a third
friend?
party.
I know you don't want him to. You know what?
He said his mother, Your Honor.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna, Ms. George.
He could just do the no.
Can you talk to whoever's gonna be on his case and tell them that they may need to file a motion to take care of this issue, because it doesn't appear that it's gonna be settled today, and I don't have time to dive into it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Pierre, you're gonna be under a no contact order with Ms. Williams, so you cannot call or text her, nobody else can do so on your behalf, et cetera, okay? You have to maintain separate residence, which I believe you do anyway, so that shouldn't be an issue, right? Okay. And as far as the child care for your daughter, sir, I would just, get on the phone or contact your lawyer as soon as possible to try and work that issue out through either the domestic court, you'd have to hire somebody, but the judge on this case, you could probably address that issue a little more in depth than today. I understand what Ms. Williams said, but I don't believe I have the authority to prohibit you from interacting with your child, and I don't necessarily want to, but we don't have time to get into it,
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay? Just call your lawyer. All right, thank you. Oh, all right.
This was an updated copy for the next defendant.
Oh, good, he does qualify, or she does. Are you Kimberly Torres? All right, and we have a witness, sir. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
Nelson Munoz.
Who?
Nelson Munoz.
All right, Mr. Munoz, what's your relation to Ms. Torres?
We're a couple.
Okay, do you live together?
Yes.
Are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with Ms. Torres, or you do not?
I wish to have contact.
You do wish to have contact, all right. And I am fine with ordering that, but it will be under a non-hostile contact order, meaning if she were to act aggressively in any way towards you and you called 911, she will be brought back to jail with no questions asked because she's under the jurisdiction of the court while her case is pending. Are you confident that if the need arises, that you will call 911 and address the situation?
Yeah,
You'll call the cops if you need to.
if I have to, but I don't think I will.
Well, I know you don't think you need to, but you may. So I just want to be assured that you're willing to.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Munoz, or Torres, sorry. God dang, I'm messing up the names. Ms. Torres, you do qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to release you on that program. That means you don't have to post a bond, but you have to follow their rules and check in with them when they tell you to. And you are going to be under a no hostile contact order. So you can return to the home, but if you get aggressive in any way and law enforcement gets involved, you're coming back to jail. Nobody asking any questions, okay? All right. All right, and I am appointing the public defender to represent you. Good luck to you. They just, man, the witnesses are bolting. All right. All right, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you are here on an out-of-county warrant from Broward, I think. You have a $509 bond. Usually with that 9, that's a signal to IA judge about something I know, but I don't know what it is. But you got a $509 bond, so if you post it, sir, you can be released. I'm gonna leave it at the 509. Okay? All right, good luck to you. Mr. Kelly? What does that mean? Pinellas came and got him? Okay, so I don't have to address it?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, great. So is this Mr. Saint Lot?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you are here, got picked up on a warrant from Seminole. You do not have any bonds. There's, I think, 2 counts or 2 cases, I'm not sure, but neither one has a bond. You'll have to seek release from the judge on that case or cases.
When will they be able to come get me? Are they coming to
Sorry?
Seminole County? When is Seminole County coming to get me?
I have no
Is
clue.
the statute? Like, how long does it?
I don't know. I would,
Yeah, Seminole comes.
if you had a PD or a lawyer on that case, I would try to get in touch with them. All right?
They usually come every week, Your Honor. Usually
Okay,
more than one
apparently
time.
they come every week, so. All right, Mr. Cook? Mr. Cook? All right, you're here on a violation probation. Came in at 0 bond. What did the warrant say? Nope. Nope. No bond. And it's not going to be, okay. Sir, you currently have no bond on this VOP. You're not entitled to a bond in this particular case. Therefore, you'll have to seek release from the judge on the case. I'm staying it at 0. All right, good luck to you. Garcia?
Refused, Your Honor.
And I will waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, PD waives appearance on Garcia. He has a $1,000 bond on this VOP. So I will leave it at 1,000. Oh, wait a minute. What's this back here? Sale delivery.
He has an additional case, Your Honor.
Is this the one where they did a bond correction?
I don't know. I didn't receive a bond correction.
Oh, was this an on view?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so I'm not just addressing. Okay, so in 2022 CF 9511AO, which is the new law, it came in with bonds of 1,000 on count 1, 250 on count 2, 7,500 on count 3, and 500 on count 4. There was, subsequent to that, there was a bond correction form submitted because on count 3, sale, delivery, controlled substance, they're indicating that they should have brought it in on a $15,000 bond and not a $7,500, which I believe is consistent with the bond schedule. Therefore, count 3 is $15,000. The other counts will remain as announced. I will leave them, stay the bonds at those amounts, and stay the VOP at 1,000. Holly? All right, Mr. Holly, you were picked up on a violation of probation. You do not have a bond on that case. You're not entitled to bond, so I will stay it at 0. You will have to seek release from the judge on that case. Good luck to you. Second last one is Meister. Mr. Meister?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you are here on a violation of probation. You do not have a bond on that case. I'm going to stay your bond at 0. You will have to seek release from the judge in that case.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, State, are you ready to go through 33-day
Yes, Your Honor.
motions? All right. First one I have is, you want me to say the case number or just the name? You want me to say the case number or just the name?
Your Honor, some defendants have multiple case numbers, so the state would request both, just so the record's clear.
Okay, well, this first one is only one case. It's 22C. All right, we're back on the record, and I'm readdressing 2022 MM 5490AO. The defendant's name is William Mahoney. This is the case who had violated domestic injunction and apparently had a extensive history of violating injunctions for the same victim. And Ms. George brought to my attention, which doesn't surprise me given the right to bond that's codified in the Florida Constitution as well as the U.S. Constitution, that it does appear that he would be legally entitled to a bond, notwithstanding his history. So in case number 2022 MM 5490AO, I will grant him a bond of $20,000. If he posts that bond, he will be under a strict no contact order. Must, what do you say, maintain at least 1,000-foot,
Stewart, that's for no return.
no return to the victim's
Residence or
place of work.
Stewart also.
Are we worried about weapons, firearms? Okay,
Stewart
possess no weapons, no firearms. And that's about it on that one, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. However, now, I previously elected not to revoke his release in case number 2022 CF 4693AO. At this time, I will revoke his bond in that case, and he will have to seek release from the judge on that case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, for accommodating us. Or is this the afternoon? Okay, so we're going to, if everybody's in agreement, we'll go ahead and do the afternoon. Ms. George, you probably want 30 minutes or so?
Yes, Your Honor, I already have the
Is
offer.
a half an hour enough?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll take a 30-minute break, but we may be able to address, counsel, State, are you okay addressing counsel's case
Yes, Your Honor, I'm looking at it very
before we
quickly right
break?
now.
All right, counsel, come on up and why don't you put your name on the record and your client's name?
Yes, Your Honor. Samantha Angelostro on behalf of Blas Ailman Alanis. I actually don't have a copy of the affidavit either.
Oh dear. Well,
May I approach the clerk, Your Honor? She just.
yeah, I mean, you can take a look at my copy. Count one is PBL, he's not entitled to a bond,
Yes, Your Honor.
and I'm not inclined to give him one.
And if I could be heard as to counts 2 and 3.
Well, okay, you may. I was, my notes from going over the probable cause affidavits this morning prior to court was I was going to grant him a $10,000 bond in each one. However, it doesn't, you still have to seek a bond on count. No, counts 2 and 3, I was going to give 10 and 10, leave it at 0 due to the nature of the charge on 1. So you'd have to seek a bond from the judge on the case.
Yes, Your Honor. That's agreeable then.
Okay. All right, so you are Mr. Alanis? Yes, sir. All right, sir, you have counsel already. And I'm sure you just heard the conversation that we had. Are these family members
Yes, Your Honor, just
witnesses?
for the
Do they wish
record.
to be heard today?
If they would like to, Your Honor, but I mean, if the court's decision is made as to count 1.
Well-
But that's his mother and his brother, and they did come down from Georgia, so if
All right, well, let's put them in the box. All right, well, they came down from Georgia, so they don't live here.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so they don't know anything about the case. They weren't witnesses or anything.
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir and ma'am, can you raise your right hands? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Filiberto Aleman.
What was your last name?
Last name Aleman.
Aleman. All right, and ma'am, what's your name?
Lázaro Alanis.
Ms. Anise?
Yeah.
All right. I understand that you traveled from Georgia to be here for what I'm told is your brother and your son. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will tell you that, you know, I know very little about the case. I've only read the probable cause affidavit, so, you know, this isn't a proceeding where we dive deep into the case. My job is to determine whether or not there was probable cause for the arrest, and if I do find that, then to determine what would be the conditions of release that he's entitled to and can reasonably protect the public. Now, that being said, he has 3 different charges. One of them is a very serious charge, and by that I mean that it is potentially, this is by no means to say this is what the sentence would be, but it does carry a possible sentence of life in prison. And because of that, under Florida law, he's not entitled to a bond. You are entitled to bonds on most criminal charges under both the Florida and the United States Constitutions. Florida has accepted out certain charges and circumstances where they have said, in spite of that, you're not entitled to a bond. And for that reason, I'm not granting him a bond on that one count. I am granting him bonds on the other 2 counts because he's entitled to them. Please understand, that doesn't mean he can't get a bond on that remaining count. But his attorney will be filing a motion in front of the judge who is going to oversee this case and is going to have to seek whatever conditions of release and bond will satisfy that judge to grant that to him. It will not be done here at initial appearance.
Yes, sir, understood.
So I appreciate you coming down, showing support for your family member. And, you know, I would even be inclined to ask if you had any input, but the outcome of today is not going to change. So it's probably best if we just don't address all that. I'm sure that they can visit with him if they go over to the
Yes, Your Honor.
visitation center and you can talk with your brother and your son, okay?
Yes, sir.
But today, I'm going to leave count 1 at 0 bond, grant him bonds of $10,000 on 2 and 3, and his lawyer will get to work on getting him released on the other one.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No, sir.
You good?
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, as I said, you should be able to visit with him in the visitation center if you choose to do that. Sir, good luck to you. Looks like you have counsels on top of it. They showed up here even before you were supposed to be here. So good luck to you.
Your Honor, can you also advise the defendant that he has an immigration hold?
Oh, okay. I have to tell you that so I don't know, counsel, were you aware of the ICE hold?
No, Your Honor, but we
Okay.
had discussed the possibility of that being placed on him.
Well,
Yes, Your Honor, state was right.
yeah, you're right, I should say. All right, so pursuant to the warrant, the judge who signed the warrant also included conditions that should you be released, if you were to be granted a bond or release in this case, that you are to have no contact whatsoever with anyone under the age of 18, and no minors, and also, of course, no contact whatsoever with the victim. Yes, counsel?
Your Honor, Mr. Alanis does have a 7-month-old son, if the court would be inclined to allow him to have contact with his son upon his release.
Is the son involved in the case or not?
No, Your Honor.
I believe, according to the affidavit, the victim was holding the child at one point.
Was what?
Was holding the child
Holding the child?
during.
So
one
is
of
the
the
state
acts.
opposed to allowing him of contact with his son?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so he can have contact with that specific child only.
Okay, and
I
can we
don't know
just
how you
place
write
his-
it up, but
We can,
no minor children other than his biological son.
can we place his son's name on the record?
Do we need to?
It's up to you, Your Honor, if you want the record clear, but we could just put his minor child.
Okay, go ahead.
You comfortable with that? Are you okay with me putting this in? If we could just put, Your Honor, that he can have contact with his biological son. He only has one child.
Okay,
Thank you.
done. All right, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Thank you, folks, for coming.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, so we will be in recess until, Ms. George, you want me to go to 11:30?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that good?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll be in recess till 11:30. We will reconvene to the afternoon docket. Thank you. You don't expect a victim. All right, we're on the record. Ms. Fleming, you want to make your appearance known?
Taylor Fleming on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Melissa Vickers on behalf of Ronald Skelly.
All right, so we are waiting for the public defender to finish up speaking with her clients, and in the meantime, we will address Ronald Skelly, case number 22 MM 5401 AO. Ms. Vickers is here on behalf of Mr., yeah, it is Mr., right? Yes, Ronald Lee, okay. Is that Mr. Skelly?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Ms. Vickers, pursuant to what I said prior to going on the record, in going through the docket for this morning, my intent was to grant a $500 bond, order no contact, maintain separate residence, which is my understanding from the PC affidavit is that they're already in separate residence, so that's not an issue. And he has no reason to return one time, because they
So
don't live
he
together.
lives, he's the one who lives in Daytona in the home, correct? And I believe most of her things are out.
Oh, is it, wait a minute.
He took her items and moved out.
This happened in Orange County.
They were at a club here,
Oh,
staying like at a hotel
apparently I didn't read it as.
overnight. So his name is on the lease only in the residence in
Well,
Daytona.
That's fine, so then.
He has moved out.
Well, that's all right, that's fine, we just have to add some language to the release conditions, and that is, so, Mr. Skelly, I'll grant you a bond, I'm gonna order that you have no contact, I'm order that you maintain separate residences, and since I now understand that, if, in fact, you do live together, albeit they don't, Ms. Vickers?
They don't, no, they no longer live together.
Because she's moving out,
She has already moved out.
okay,
She
but.
hasn't been there for 3 weeks. She has left. She's not there.
I understand. Hang on, stay with me for 1 second. I think the way I need to word this is, he may return to the residence with law enforcement if, in fact, it's determined that she has vacated the residence. Then I have no issue, then he can stay. But I understand that he's telling you and you're telling me that she's been gone for 3 weeks. I think, just to be on the safe side, the order is going to say that he can return with law enforcement, and upon a determination that she's vacated the premises, he's able to stay, he doesn't have to go anywhere.
Okay, so law enforcement will make that determination if she has vacated the
I
premises?
think Ms. George was helping me with this yesterday, and I think, isn't that what we said when they lived together, but I was and somebody was allegedly moving out?
Yes, Your Honor, that he would go with law enforcement, and as long as none of her things were there, that he could stay is the way.
So, if she's truly gone, it shouldn't be an issue, right?
Okay. I mean, any remaining items are in a few boxes of hers. It's not like there's,
I think-
personal items on the
I
counter.
think the
and
officers
drawers.
will use their discretion.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Thank you.
All right, Ian, you know how you want to write that up? I said a whole bunch of words, I don't think you want to put them all.
Your Honor, are you putting a separate residence, and then are you gonna do a one-time return just in case the officer does?
Well, I have no reason to disbelieve Mr. Skelly. I'm going to assume that the person's gone, but I am not, I'm just doing the order So, yeah, I guess what you're getting at, Ms. Fleming, is if they do go back and she is in fact in residence, right?
I'm just trying to ensure that both
They
parties
don't live
are,
together.
are safe. That the victim is safe since she's not here to testify, and that he's not gonna
Which
get
is why I'm
rearrested if
not-
everything's not clear.
Which is why the order is not gonna just say he can go back. There has to be some verification that she has vacated. If she's still there, or if she came back while you've been a guest of Orange County, you gotta go somewhere else. Clear?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Is that all?
Your Honor,
Okay.
Your Honor, we just asked her no weapons or firearms. She does have prior convictions with firearms.
Were there any weapons or firearms in this incident?
Not that I noticed within this incident, Your Honor, however.
Does he have weapons, charges, or?
Yes, Your Honor, he does have prior convictions with firearms.
All right, sir, while the case is pending, let's,
He's maintaining he doesn't have a prior conviction, but he doesn't own any firearms, so.
okay, so, good, then you won't have any problem complying with, possess no weapons, no firearms while the case is pending. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vickers. Ms. George, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sorry.
Would you please, let the court reporters know that you are in attendance?
Yes, Your Honor. Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
All right, and so, I have reviewed the PC affidavits. I'm finding probable cause in all of them. Obviously, Ms. George is free to disagree with me on those, on any cases she feels it's proper. I will appoint the public defender in each case under the current administrative order. The first case we're going to address is a Spanish speaker, so let me get the interpreter on the line. You only have one in? You only have one? Oh, three. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaña, Spanish interpreter, previously sworn.
Good morning. We have three cases we need to address. The first one is Mr. Cesario Cuchul, I think. Case number 2022 CF 9545AO. And he is at the, well, you can see him, I think, but he's got the headphones on. Can you let me know when you have contact?
Sí. There is contact, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, you are here, or you were arrested for domestic battery by strangulation, also domestic battery. I am going to grant you bond. It'll be $2,500 on count one, $500 on count two. You are to have no contact whatsoever with the victim. You must maintain a separate residence. That means you cannot go back to the home. You may return one time with a law enforcement officer to retrieve personal belongings if you need to. And while your case is pending, you are to consume no alcohol and no illegal drugs.
Okay.
Good luck to you, sir. The next case is Ruiz Medina, 2022 MM 5518AO. She does not have the headphones on yet. Okay, she's got them on. Let me know when you have contact, please.
Sí. There is contact, Your Honor.
All right, good morning. Ma'am, you are here with a domestic violence charge. I will grant you a bond of $500. You're to have no contact whatsoever with the victim. You are to maintain separate residence. means you must live elsewhere. Yeah. Ma'am, do you need to have a third party to coordinate with your husband for childcare?
No, ellos ya están con mi hermana. No, they are with my sister right now.
Okay. You may return to the residence one time as long as you are accompanied by a law enforcement officer to retrieve personal belongings if you need to.
Your Honor, I did provide an updated copy.
Oh, so you did. I'm sorry, it was on the back. All right, I'm gonna change this a little bit. Ms. Cruz Medina. This morning, when I went through the docket, it said you did not qualify for pretrial release. That's since been updated. My guess is they were able to interview you in the meantime. And so I will release you on the pretrial release program. That means you do not have to post a bond. You have to abide by their rules. I am still going to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim. You maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. But I will release you on the pretrial release program instead of a bond. All right, good luck to you. Ms. Davis, this one, and I have a couple of these today. There's a note, this is active county probation. Am I supposed to address that as an on view or?
No, you don't have to.
No, you're just letting me know. Okay, thank you. All right, the last case we have is Mr. Martinez Sanchez, case number 2022 MM 551680. Sir, you're here on a domestic violence, battery domestic violence charge. I'm going to grant you a bond of $500. I will order that if you post that bond, you are to have no contact whatsoever with the victim in this case. You are to maintain separate residences. That means you cannot live there. You have to find somewhere else to go. You may return one time if you are accompanied by law enforcement in order to retrieve personal belongings. And while your case is pending, you are to possess no weapons and no firearms. Good luck to you. I believe that's the end of Spanish, yes. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next case I have is Morzizek. Is that you, sir?
Morzizek, yeah.
Morzizek, okay. Sir, you are picked up on a warrant out of Pasco County, has a $5,000 bond. I will leave that bond in place. Good luck to you. Oops, sorry. McDowell, are you Mr. McDowell?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. McDowell, you have, well, you're here on a couple different charges. On count one, you came in with a $1,000 bond. I will leave that at $1,000. Count two is domestic violence battery, which requires you to appear at initial appearance, which you are doing. And I will grant you a bond of $500 on count two. I'll order that the conditions of release would be no contact at all with the alleged victim. You must maintain separate residences. And you may return one time with the accompaniment of law enforcement to retrieve personal belongings you may need. And also, while your case is pending, you are to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. All right, good luck to you. Mr. Oliveira?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Oliveira, you're here on battery on a pregnant person, domestic violence charge. I'm going to grant you bond. Oh, we have a victim. Okay, thank you for telling me. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Can you please tell us your name for the record?
Lana Oliveira,
What's your relationship to Mr. Oliveira?
his wife.
Okay, and I've read the charging affidavit. It's not kind to your husband. Are you here to tell me that you wish to have contact or you do not wish to have contact?
I do want contact.
Are you saying you want contact merely because you need him to assist in the home? Or are you truly not afraid of this person?
I'm not afraid of him. And I do need assistance with the home, but I'm truly not afraid of him.
Well, even if I don't allow him to return to the house, he still has to support the kids and you.
Correct. I'm doing a few weeks too. Anytime now, actually.
All right. So let me ask you this. If I do allow him to go home, it would be under a non-hostile contact order. And what that means is he can have contact, he can go back to the house. He cannot act aggressively in any way. He can't raise his voice, or certainly can't raise a hand to you. And if you were to call law enforcement for any reason and tell them that he had violated that by acting aggressively, even if he yelled at you, they would respond and take him to jail, no questions asked. Nobody's going to ask his side of the story because he's under the jurisdiction of the court while his case is pending.
Okay.
Are you willing to tell me today, under oath, that you're willing to make that phone call if you need to?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, sir, I will grant you a bond. No, Ms. Davis, it says not interviewed, but it appears he wouldn't qualify anyway.
Yeah, he wouldn't qualify, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'll grant you a bond of $2,500. I will allow you to have non-hostile contact with your wife. Hopefully you heard my description of it to her. So if you act out in any way and she calls law enforcement, you're coming back to jail. No one's going to ask your side. All right.
Your Honor, DCF was also called.
Oh, right, okay, so here's the other part of this. While you're released, you must comply with any rules or procedures that DCF puts in place for the welfare of the children.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am, for appearing. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, this is Mr. Roberts. Ms. George, do you wish to be heard on this?
Not, as to the charge, I believe the co-defendant is,
Coming up later.
yes, and I wanted to see if we could hear both to see if they wanted contact with each other. I didn't know if you were going to order a no contact with each other because they reside together.
Well, I wasn't going to order no contact with
Okay.
each other.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't want them, having any contact with the kids.
Yes, Your Honor.
Um,
I believe DCF is involved, so I would just ask for a follow.
Here's what I wrote in my notes.
Okay.
And it's the same for both.
Okay.
So, Mr. Roberts.
Sir.
You came in with no bond on this. I was going to grant you, or I am going to grant you a bond of $2,500. If you post that bond, you're to have no contact with the children unless, except under supervision.
Yes, sir.
And I understand DCF was called, therefore, you would have to comply with any rules or procedures that DCF imposes.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Your Honor, to be clear, you said no unsupervised contact with the children.
Correct.
That could imply that he would have supervised contact with the mother, who is also a co-defendant.
Oh, are you going to ask for no contact with a co-defendant?
No, Your Honor, state was just worried that with your order, arguably, he'd be supervised, but by the wife, who is also a
Well, she's going to
co-defendant?
be under the same order.
I just want to make sure
Oh, I
it's
see
clear
what
that
you're
they
saying.
cannot
So
use each
they
other
would
as
say, oh, well,
supervision.
I'm supervising him and he's supervising me, therefore, we're good. No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was clear
No.
that that was.
In fact, I think, didn't the kids go?
I believe they're with the aunt.
Aunt, yeah. So, all right, I guess, I get your point, Ms. Fleming. So you have to have adult supervision if you have any contact with the kids, and it cannot be your co-defendant.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay? All right. I guess we have to write that in there, so. I thought that would be obvious. No. Ms. Fleming's point was, if I order that each of them can have contact with the kids as long as they're supervised, and I don't specifically say the supervision can't be the co-defendant, they may have contact with the kids and just say, well, we're supervising each other. Which clearly. All right. This is Mr. Rodriguez, correct? All right, and we have some witnesses. Can you both raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
I heard you, I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm guessing you're the son and the girlfriend?
I'm the mother,
Oh, you're the mother, I'm sorry.
but thank you.
Wasn't the girlfriend there, witness? Maybe not, whatever. All right, and so, can you please state your name for the record, sir?
Joshua Rodriguez.
And ma'am, can you state your name?
Jennifer Rodriguez?
And my next question is typically what's your relationship, but my understanding is that you're mom and you're the victim.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Joshua, are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with your father, or you do not wish to have contact with your father?
I wish to have contact with my father.
You are not in fear of your father?
No, sir.
All right. And ma'am, are you here to tell me that you wish to have well, you're not the victim. I don't,
I'm his ex-wife.
oh, ex-wife, okay.
Ex-wife,
Do you live, you don't live with them?
I do not.
Okay, so you're here just as in support of Joshua, I take it?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, well, Joshua, you do live with your dad, right? Or, no, were you moving out? Were you? Anyway, just tell me,
Can you explain, sir?
do you live with your father?
Oh, yes, sir.
And you want him to return to the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I did allow him to go back to the home, it would be under a non-hostile contact order, which would mean if he were to act in any way aggressive, even verbally, and you called law enforcement, he would be brought back to jail. No one would ask his side of the story because he's under the jurisdiction of the court while his case is pending. Can you assure me today, under oath, that if the need arose, you would make that phone call and he would be brought back to jail?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, hopefully you were listening to the conversation I was having with Joshua, and based on his testimony and his desire, I am going to grant you a bond of $2,500. If you post that bond, you will be able to have contact with your son, but it must be non-hostile contact. And so if you act in any way and law enforcement becomes involved, no one is going to ask you any questions. You'll just be brought back to jail. And you are unlikely to get a bond at that point until an attorney or somebody files a motion with the judge on your case. Okay?
Sir.
All right, all right. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Untitled Chapter, mental health, Your Honor.
Shepherd Mental Health, are we waiving, Ms. George?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. On the Shepherd case, it was my intent to grant a $3,500 bond, order no contact, maintain separate residence, no weapons, firearms. It wasn't clear if he needs, does he possibly need to return?
Yes, Your Honor, I would just ask for a one-time return.
Yeah, one time with law enforcement. All right. Is this Ms. Vasquez? Are you Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I didn't see that.
Is this, for some reason, I think I had 3 copies. Oh, the victim intended to bond out and be here today. I don't see anybody present. Okay, so just to be sure, I'm only dealing with one case, right? The 2022 CF 9542AO.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Vasquez, you, I'm told that you qualify for the, to be released on the pretrial release program. That means you do not have to post a bond, but you do have to follow their rules and you have to stay in contact with them. So, I will release you on that program. Once you're released, you must maintain a separate residence and have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. Can't remember. Did you live there? Do you need to go back one time with law enforcement to get your stuff?
I am the primary signer on the lease.
Well, that's irrelevant at this point. You can't go back unless the other person has vacated the premises.
You already vacated.
Okay, well then, here's what I'm gonna order. You must maintain separate residences. You may return one time with law enforcement officers if they determine that the victim has vacated the premises. You may stay. If for any reason the victim has not, you must find somewhere else to go. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Ms. Fleming,
Yes, sir.
I gotta believe that there's some cryptic meaning when somebody puts a bond of $95 on a warrant. Are you aware of any?
No, I actually thought it was interesting yesterday when you said you thought there was some meaning when they did like $505, there was some meaning.
I don't know if it's an old judge's tale, but
Maybe that's why I'm not privy to
there
it.
used to be like a secret code, like, and if you see an out-of-county warrant, they put like 509 was the one we had. It's supposed to mean something like, you know, this guy is of concern or isn't of concern, or
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I've not heard of that, so I don't know if the 95 is.
It's just,
it's weird.
It's a weird.
It is very weird. I mean, it is only for a Dwillis, but 95 is an odd number. I don't understand why it wouldn't be 100, but.
All right, Ms. Young?
Yes, sir.
You are Ms. Young. All right, Ms. Young, you are here for a couple of issues. The first one is allegation of child abuse. I'm going to grant you a bond of $2,500 on that charge. You already have no contact with the kids except under the supervision of an adult, and you must comply with any rules or procedures that DCF puts in place. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I did not write down separate residence. Is there a reason I did that?
We just had.
Oh, this is,
Mhm.
this is the co-defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Okay. Yes, so $2,500, no contact except, with an adult. Comply with, DCF rules and procedures. And just so you're aware, because we just discussed this with your co-defendant, I think is your husband or significant other, you can't supervise each other for the contact with the children. It has to be, I think they're with their aunt right now.
Right.
That person would be acceptable, or a DCF worker. Also, you have, is it 1 or 2? Is this a duplicate? 22689 CTA. Okay, so it looks like there's just 1, but I have 2 copies. Okay, so you have an out-of-county warrant hold. The bond is $95. So you can post that to get out, but you have to post both the Orange County and Seminole first. Okay? It's like they're just picking numbers willy-nilly out of the air. Okay, this is Mr. Anderson, yes?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, okay, this is the phone threats. All right. Oh, we have victim, or witness. Thank you for raising your right hand. I was just about to ask you to do that. Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, can you please state your name for the record?
Shalavier Knight.
All right, and what's your relationship to Mr. Anderson?
Girlfriend.
All right?
Girlfriend.
Okay, are you still in the relationship, or is it over?
At this point, I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you live together?
No.
All
We
right.
have a 2-year-old son together, though.
Oh, you do? You have a child in common?
Yes.
All right, and are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with Mr. Anderson, or you do not wish to have contact?
I do wish to have contact only because we have our child together, though.
Well, that's fine, and I understand that, but I can order that any child care issues that need to be dealt with, we can designate a third party to act as a go-between the two of you so that you don't have direct contact with him. Is that something that you would prefer? Yes? You have to say it out loud because I'm recording you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Anderson, I'm going to grant you a $1,500 bond. You are to have no contact whatsoever with the victim. You must maintain a separate residence. That should not be hard since you don't live together right now, so maintain separate residence. You cannot go near her residence or her work, by the way. You must remain, what is it, Ms. Fleming, at least 1,500 feet away from?
I believe the no contact order, it has it at 500.
Oh, 5, okay, whatever. You can't go near her house, can't go near her work. You can't have any contact. Do you have somebody in mind who could be the coordinator for childcare? A friend, a family member?
I have a family member, yes.
Who?
Her name is Keisha Law. She's my babysitter.
Stop talking.
I wouldn't agree with that. Yeah, Keisha, she did.
Okay. Anybody else?
I can find someone else, but not anyone offhand.
Just a minute. Sorry?
I can find someone else, but not anyone offhand right now.
All right, I'm just going to order that a third party be designated to coordinate childcare duties. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So 1,500, no contact, separate residence, third party for childcare. State any other conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, thank you for coming. Good luck to you, sir. What's that note on his? Oh, okay. You're Mr. Christian?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, no witness. Sir, what is this thing? Oh, request for confidentiality. Okay, all right, all right. All right, sir, you're here on a dating violence charge. I'm gonna grant you a bond of 500 on that. I didn't see anything about this contempt of court. Do I have to
That's not
address?
seen in IAs, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
It's not seen in IAs. He goes to a different court.
Oh, okay, so I'm not dealing with it?
Mhm.
Okay. I'll give you $500 bond on the battery charge. No contact with the victim, maintain separate residence. Did you live there?
I was staying there. And
Okay, that's fine, but you can't go back.
Right, no problem.
You may return one time with law enforcement if you need to retrieve your stuff. That, no problem, you just have to go with the deputy, okay? And while your case is pending, you are to consume no alcohol, no illegal drugs. You cannot drink or take illegal drugs while your case is pending. All right, good luck to you. That was interesting. No alcohol or drugs. Say what now?
That's no way.
All right, Mr. Dorse? Okay, just looking to see if we have a witness. Mr. Dorse, you're here on a DV battery charge. I'm gonna grant you a $500 bond. If you post that bond, you are to have no contact whatsoever with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence, meaning you cannot go back to the home. You may return one time with a law enforcement officer accompanying you to retrieve your personal stuff. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Oh, wait, is this the brother thing?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yes, Your Honor,
It's no
stop.
choice.
Stop.
What's that? About that?
No. I'm not changing any of the conditions. I just realized these were the brothers who were cutting the grass or something, but, so it's a little different than husband and wife, but. Ms. George, it's still no contact, maintain separate residence, because you and your brother are not getting along. So I am appointing the public defender to represent you. You have a lawyer. If you want to change that to non-hostile contact or something like that, talk to your lawyer about filing a motion with the judge on the case. I'm not saying it has to stay that way. I'm saying it's gonna be that way when you get released. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
It's on right now. Sign in blue. Knowledge that you have received it. I'm just making sure, that's all. But I could just go home today, right?
No.
If I gotta pay the phone.
Yeah, you can pay the phone. You just can't go back to the house.
Mr. Dial?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Dial, you're here on a violation of domestic injunction. Now, the violation was you were under a non-hostile contact order, so you were permitted to be with the victim, but it turned hostile. And therefore, turned into a violation of that order. So I will grant you a $500 bond in this case. However, because you were already under a non-hostile contact, you are now under a no-contact order. You may not have any contact whatsoever with the victim. You must maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with law enforcement accompanying you to retrieve your personal belongings. Understood? All right, good luck to you. All right, Mr. Edwards? Mr. Edwards?
Yes, sir.
All right. right, Mr. Edwards, I don't see any witnesses. All right, sir, you do qualify for pretrial release. That means you don't have to post a bond, but you have to follow their rules and stay in touch with them, okay? Conditions of that release will be that you have no contact whatsoever with the victim. You must maintain a separate residence. My understanding, I think, was that she was there to get her stuff anyway.
No.
So,
They don't, no, they don't live together, Your Honor.
I understand, but when I read the affidavit, it said that she was there to pick up her belongings. So I don't know if she got them all or if she had to go back. Sir, just stay with me one second. So I'm still gonna order separate residence because I don't know if she's out yet. Sounds like she is. I don't know.
Your Honor, I don't believe,
If she's gone, you're free to stay there if she's not there. If she comes back to get her stuff, you gotta get out. I mean, at least while she's getting her stuff, leave. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are under a separate residence. Again, I understand the situation, so this should not be an issue for you. It just wasn't clear to me, based on the probable cause affidavit, that she's truly out and done, that she was able to get all her stuff and leave.
Yes, sir.
If she has, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Well, you've been in here, so you don't really know. All right, good luck to you. Sorry. Ms. Foster? All right, Ms. Foster here on a dating violence. I will grant you a bond on that.
I believe she qualifies, Your Honor.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. It says right there. All right, so I'm gonna release you on the pretrial release. You know, for some reason I didn't write notes on this. I don't understand why. So let me look at this. They've been in a loosely defined relationship. What's that mean? Loosely defined. So you don't live together?
Not anymore.
So you can maintain a separate residence with no problem then, right?
Correct.
All right. So I'll release you on the pretrial release. You don't post a bond, you follow their rules. Stay in touch with them. You are to maintain separate residence. Sounds like that's gonna be a breeze. No contact with the victim whatsoever. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Your Honor, Jackson George is mental health, but he have a victim present.
All right. Ms. George, are we waiving?
I will waive, Your Honor. He qualifies for pretrial release.
He does?
He does.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh,
So I just asked for pretrial release.
is there a update? Oh, there is an update. See, you sneak these in.
Because you
Don't tell me.
you wrote notes on your other paper, so I didn't
know.
want to swap them out.
Put a sticky on them or something. All right. All right, ma'am, in the witness box, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm everything you say today should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
And in Haitian ko yol translate.
I'm sorry?
Haitian ko yol translate.
Oh, you need Creole?
Yes.
No, I have to call an interpreter. You want to step back? Step back. You need to have him step back until you can get one, Madam Clerk?
Yeah, because I gotta know what kind of contacts he wants to have.
Yes.
Une minute? Is that close? Sounded French. Une minute. Oh, do you speak Creole? Do you?
Oh, look at that.
She's gonna testify, so it has to be a certified, I have to get a certified interpreter because she's gonna be on the record. Thank you, though. All right, so I'm gonna put his case aside for a second while we try to get an interpreter, so, are you Ms. Joseph? All right, Ms. Joseph, you're here on a DV battery. I'm gonna grant you a bond of $500. Order that you have no contact with, the victim. It says you guys are no longer together, is that right?
We messed around,
No, that's okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, I don't need all the details. It just said ex-girlfriend in the affidavit, so, but it's your place, right? Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna give you the $500 bond. You can have no contact, and you must maintain a separate residence. If she's still there, even though it's your place, you can't go back. If she has vacated the residence, then you can go back. So what I'm gonna order is that you can return one time with a law enforcement officer. Sorry? Oh. You can return one time with a law enforcement officer. And if it is determined that the victim has vacated the premises, then you can stay. If she has not, then you have to go somewhere else. Do you understand? Okay. All right. Good luck to you. Okay, still working on the Creole interpreter, so Ms. Lane. All right, Ms. Lane, see no witnesses. You qualify for pretrial release. And so I'm going to release you on that program. You do not have to post a bond. You just have to abide by their rules and stay in touch with them. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim. You must maintain separate residence, and I understand that the victim said they were leaving, but until that's been determined, you can only return to the residence with law enforcement if, when you do that, if it is determined that the victim has vacated the premises, then you can remain. If she has not, then you have to go somewhere else. Do you understand?
I own the property.
That is irrelevant, ma'am.
I just asked.
You can own it, that's fine. But you were the one that was alleged to have been the aggressor, therefore, you are ordered not to go back no matter who owns it. If she's gone, and that can be confirmed, then no problem. You can stay. If she hasn't, you have to go somewhere else until she is. Clear? I know you own it. It doesn't matter. All right. Good luck to you. I did appoint the public defender. You do have a lawyer to help you if you want to get in touch with them. Okay, still waiting on that. So, Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, do we have any witnesses? No. Mr. Smith, you're here on a domestic violence, so I'm going to grant you a $500 bond. You can have no contact with the victim, sir. That means no calling, texting, no having other people call, text. No contact means no contact. You must maintain separate residence. You may return one time with law enforcement to read your personal belongings. Now, do you live in Massachusetts?
I go back and forth. I work as a SRC.
So do you have a home here?
Yeah.
Is that where this is alleged to have occurred?
No,
It's a store, right?
This was all a mistake, sir.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking you to disregard
Okay,
the knowledge.
I'm clouding the issue.
Okay.
I don't care where it is. You
Yes, sir.
cannot reside together.
No, we are not together.
Good, then this wouldn't be a problem for you. You can't live together, and if the person is in the residence, wherever it is, if it's on Pluto, you cannot live there if she's there. Okay, so you can return to your Orlando place or your Massachusetts, well, I don't know if he's allowed to, anyway. Wherever it is, you can go with a law enforcement officer to return one time. If the victim has vacated that premises, wherever it is, then you're free to stay. If not, you gotta go somewhere else.
We don't have nothing together. Nothing.
Okay, just tell me you understand.
I understand.
Thank you. All right, good luck to you. Everybody wants to explain. All right, Mr. Woodard.
Yes, sir.
All right, we do have a witness. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand? You swear or affirm everything you say today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing
sir.
but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. Can you please state your name for the record?
Tara Jackson,
What's your relationship to Mr. Woodard?
wife.
All right, and are you here today to tell me that you wish to have contact with Mr. Woodard, or you do not wish to have contact with
I wish
Mr.
to
Woodard?
have contact.
I'm sorry?
I wish to have contact.
All right, it's alleged that he was not being very nice to you. Are you in fear of this person?
No, sir.
Okay, well, if I do allow him to return, you live together, I assume.
Yes, we do.
If I do allow him to return, it would be under a non-hostile contact order. That means if he were to threaten you again, or to raise his hand to you, or act out in any way, and you were to call law enforcement, he would be returned to jail, no questions asked. Nobody's going to ask his side because he's under the jurisdiction of the court. And you assure me today that if you needed to, you will make that call to 911 knowing he's going to be brought back to jail.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, state's requesting a no contact despite the victim's testimony. I believe there was at least 4 prior incidences of battery domestic violence between these two, several which are felonies and several which are just bad DVs. I think the latest one being in November of 2021. So state would just at this time, due to the significant bad DV history between this victim and this defendant, would ask for a no contact at this time for there to be
So, Ms. Jackson,
one
it's
off period.
being alleged by the state that this is a pattern. This happens quite a bit. Is that true?
No, not really. No.
Not really?
No.
So they're making it up?
They're not making it up.
Well, which is it?
No, it don't happen.
State, there was,
Would you like additional information, Your Honor?
well, there was a self-reported history of mental health issues. Do you have any mental health?
No, I do not.
Not you, him.
No, Your Honor, I don't have any prior,
Oh, so he just said he did?
I don't have any prior Baker Acts. I don't have any prior dropped due to competency. I have nothing.
No. He could have mental health, Your Honor. It may be treated mental health. He may suffer from some sort of diagnosis, but it doesn't mean that it impacts his ability to understand what's going on.
Well, and when
As long as-
PTR contacted Ms. Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
at that time, it said, victim contacted PTR at 08:01 hours, appeared to have safety concerns and was seeking state attorney contact and IA info.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Sure. All right, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
At this time, Mr. Woodard, there's at least some evidence that you have a history with this victim. and apparently others. Oh, no, same victim. And even though she's here today telling me that she's not in fear of you and she wishes to have contact, I have a concern for her safety. You don't seem to be able to control yourself. This is all alleged. Well, I don't know. Are there convictions?
No, Your Honor, victim dropped.
No convictions? Just, all right, so allegedly, you can't control yourself. So I am not willing to agree to non-hostile contact. So if you do post this bond, state, is there any reason to increase the bond past the standard 500?
Your Honor, state would argue yes, just due to his criminal history. There are several violent offenses, several prior VOP showing inability to comply with court orders, and just the amount of violent allegations, burglary with assault or battery, several different drug charges, which is alleged within the affidavit that he tends to get violent when he's intoxicated.
No drugs.
And then the criminal history, I believe there's at least 4 that I'm aware of within Florida violation or arrests with this same victim that are about DV. So state would argue that there is enough.
What would the state be asking for? I mean,
15.
remember, this is an assault, not a battery.
Yes, Your Honor. 1,500.
Ms. George, you want to be heard at all?
Your Honor, I would ask for $1,000 bond, and I believe that if you do the no alcohol, that would suffice. It appears that alcohol is the problem, Your Honor, so if we do $1,000 with
It's got prior drug charges, so I think no alcohol or illegal drugs is.
Yes, Your Honor.
And frankly, whether it's 500 or 1,000 makes no difference
Or 15.
with a bondsman. It's still $100. So,
Oh, 1,500 is,
all right, sir, I will grant you a bond of $1,500. You must maintain a separate residence. You cannot live together. Does he have stuff there?
Yes, sir.
So you may return one time as long as you are accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. One time. And then no contact whatsoever with Ms. Jackson. And while your case is pending, you are to have no alcohol, no illegal drugs. All right, good luck to you. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, we have the Creo, okay. Oh, that's right. The defendant's not here. Okay, let's bring the witness on George's back. Oh, is it on here? Oh, they're here? Hello? Is the interpreter with us? Hello? Am I supposed to push something? Are you just messing with me? Is the interpreter there? Hello? Bonjour? Interpreter. Okay. Not yet, ma'am, sorry.